Dallas needed this because I'm tired. I got sick and tired over the last 3 years of having to file a missing Parsons report after those games because he was a missing person during so many big games over the last 3 years since his rookie year when he played like this as a rookie. He wrecked games as a rookie. So to me, the last 2 games that we've seen him play on big stages for the Green Bay Packers are an indictment of what he didn't do over the last 3 years in Dallas, Texas. But I give it up because so far, so great. Remember, he joined a top 5 defense with 3 of their first-round picks across their defensive front, and they are front-running because every snap he's played has been with the lead, so he can do exactly what he does best. And they have destroyed 2 really good football teams. We saw Detroit bounce back yesterday and go 52 on Chicago in Detroit. But listen, Jared Goff and Jaden Daniels had no chance against Micah and company. So far, so good. They got a gimme at Cleveland this week. They're 8.5-point favorites. And then we'll see if the honeymoon is over when they come to Dallas in 2 Sundays, because that will be something on a Sunday night.
That's going to be something. Dallas game is how you determine if they good.
Yeah, I agree with you, Skip. I agree with you. You evolve, man. You first come in the league, you one person, and then you evolve. Like I said, I did it myself.
You did.
You a first-round pick in the city of Dallas. You play for the Cowboys. You Michael Jackson like out there. Like that's one of the biggest stages you can play on.
It is.
And you might lose.
You live there. You didn't play there, but
man,
you live there. You live there. Yeah.
It's easy to lose focus there, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to Green Bay, you know what I'm saying? You probably got an apartment.
You do. That's what he's got.
You feel me? You got an apartment and you don't have shit to do. So all you could do is lock in and do football. Kind of like when I went to New England. It was like I lived in Foxborough in this little ass apartment. The family stayed in Tampa. I was by myself. I ain't had shit to do but watch this iPad. And I went from Charmander to Charizard. You know what I'm saying? Parsons going from Squirtle to War Turtle right now. Like you evolve. No. You know what I'm saying? We seeing the evolution of Michael Parsons, and he definitely got that defense looking amazing. They giving up, it's early, but 15 points a game, 190 passing yards.
Yep.
The fucking DBs are loving them right now. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely one of 4 teams who looking like they could win a chip this year.
Yep.
With that being the Ravens, the Bills, the Eagles, and the Packers right now looking like the top 4 teams in the league. Hey, and I think a lot of that juice, a lot of that energy was built last year. Once Parsons came through the door, it was kind of like when the Broncos brought in D. Ware, Aqib, Talib, Emmanuel Sanders, T.J. Ward.
To join Vaughn.
To join Vaughn and Chris and already solid defense.
Yeah.
Once you brought us in, it cranked us up even more, and the confidence went through the roof. I feel like that's the transformation that the Packers is going through right now.
Yep.
You agree with what they saying? Because if you do, you need to let me go last.
I agree. I'll do my take last.
I'll go last.
I'll do my take last.
You too?
I agree for another reason. You want me to go first?
Go ahead, man.
All right, I'm going to go a different direction in this. I'm going to take the offensive side of things.
All right.
I do think that Micah Parsons makes the Packers the best defense in the NFL when you pair him up with Van Ness and Gary and Quay Walker and all these other guys. But the reason that the Packers, in my opinion, are one of, if not the best teams in the NFL right now, are because of Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. Jordan Love is playing at an extremely high level right now. He really is. And he's elevated his play really for the last year and a half. He really has. In his last 10 starts, he has 2,000 yards, 13 passing touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And those 3 picks came in 1 game. That was the playoff game last year against the Eagles, a game to forget for Jordan Love. But he hasn't had an interception since week 11 last year against the Bears. He is taking that next step. He's playing high-level football right now. He looks comfortable in this offense. He's going through progression. He's spreading the ball around. And one of the biggest knocks on Love was his decision-making.
Yep.
He doesn't know how to protect the football. He'll make a wild throw one play and make a superhero play, and then 3 plays in a row he'll throw a costly turnover or put a ball up to where the DB can make a play on it. He has eliminated that.
Yep.
And the other thing that he's doing a really good job of right now is playing within the system. Like I said, he's going through progressions. 11 different Packers have caught a pass through 2 games. That's very impressive. He's not locking on one guy and forcing the football. He's going through progression and spreading the football around. The other thing that he's really excelled at, and that takes time and reps, and he was allowed to develop, so we're starting to see that pay off, is he knows how to read defenses, and he knows how to be decisive when he's going, wherever he's going with the football. And I think back to that first drive against the Lions, that first touchdown that he had. We had a 2x2 condensed look for the Packers. You had a corner and a return to the right, and then you had a dipper concept with a wheel on the left. Dipper is double post, the 2 P's in it. You had Kraft and Wicks on the post, then you had a little hot motion with a wheel route to Josh Jacobs down the sideline. The Lions go 2-man. That means there's only one place to go with that football, and you have to make that decision right away. That is that bender post to Tucker Kraft. You watch Love, he goes 3 steps, hitch, ball, over the linebacker, underneath the safety. That is high-level stuff. If you hesitate for a second, you are dead. And if he can continue to do that, then the Packers are not only going to be contenders in the NFC, they have a chance to be a contender for the Super Bowl. And then the other guy I got to give credit to is Matt LaFleur. I think he's done a great job. The last 3 years in a row, the Packers have had the youngest team in football. The last 2 years, he's taken them to the playoffs. And back in 2023, they beat your beloved Cowboys, who were the 2 seed and went to Jerry's World. And I know Gil's not here today, but they went boot to ass in that game. And Jordan Love had a 99 QBR rating. And that is out of 100. He played phenomenal. So
wait, did Micah play in that? Oh, yeah,
did.
he played. He did play in that.
And that was the Charizard.
That was before he got to Green. He saw what Green Bay was doing. He said, man, I'm not.
This is a different guy here.
In the NFL, you have to have veteran presence and you have to have experience. If you don't, then you better have a damn good leader as your head coach. And the Packers have one in Matt LaFleur. So I love Micah Parsons. I know you're going to go the defensive take on this, but the reason that the Packers are one of the best teams in the NFL isn't because of Parsons. It's because of Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur.
Ask the question again.
Has Micah Parsons turned the Packers into the NFL's best team? Micah Parsons.
The NFL's best team. We are in, okay. We live in a microwave society where we crown or tear people down extremely early. We're in week 2. We're talking about a team being the best who beat 2 teams at home that they were favored to beat. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. I understand it looks a certain way. But the reason that I can't say they are the best, you know what best means? Battled everything, successfully triumphed. They haven't done that. We haven't seen them on the road. Who's their number 1 wide receiver? You don't know, because if they get into a position where one guy has to go make a play, who is that? They don't know yet. They're not very good on 3rd down. They only at 40%. There's a lot we don't know about this team. They haven't been through anything. They're playing very good football. But I played a lot of football myself, and I remember in 2017, the Falcons started 5-0. They finished 8-8. Last year, the Saints scored 90 points in 2 weeks, and everybody was like, woo, the Saints. How did that turn out?
Oh.
We have to relax. It looks good. They were already a playoff team with a top 10 defense. They addressed the need where they needed more pressure. Micah addressed the need. They're playing well, but we cannot push them all the way to the best team if we haven't seen them go through nothing. We seen Philly just fight through adversity. They lost their best defensive player against Dallas. I don't care if it is Dallas. That's not an easy game to win because you know the history of Dallas. Philly and Dallas usually split. So it's always a good game regardless of what the team is. They just went to Arrowhead and said, a team that we just beat wants revenge against us. They want revenge against us. And what they do? They found a way to win. That's what being the best look like. They've been through adversity. We don't even know. This team haven't even started arguing with each other yet. We don't know what it's going to look like when things go. So we can't push them to, oh, this is the best team. I love week 2 of the NFL because it's always an overreaction. Are they playing great? Are they contenders? They've been contenders. You just added Micah to a need that you needed. I'm not jumping off the bridge and saying that the Packers are the best team in the NFL. It's 8 undefeated teams right now, and it could be 2 more tonight. The Bucks can win and be undefeated. The Chargers and the Raiders both can win and be undefeated. Now we got 10 or 9 undefeated teams. Let's let it play out. They're playing great.
Look,
but
we hope you were right. I want you to be right. I want Micah to get exposed slowly but surely because his history over the last 6 or 7 games, every year he gets worn down and worn out because he's not a physical football player. He gets chipped too much. He gets overwhelmed by massive tackles, and he starts to lose his edge down the stretch of season. So I'm hoping you're right, but all I know is I eye test what I just saw.
Right.
For
They
three
look
games.
incredible. And
And
before
see-
you go, Aqib, to your point, remember you said you went to New England and what said Micah's in Green Bay and all this. He ain't really got. Bro, they played Sunday. He got there the week before. They played Sunday and then Thursday. He been there 2 weeks.
Right.
We don't even know what's going to happen if he been there
Been
for
there
8
2 weeks, and he went against two of the top offenses in NFC.
Agreed.
And that shit
Agreed.
looked terrible on offense. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he-
They were already
to
a
my
good
point, G,
defense.
when you played in as many championship games and Super Bowls and shit as Leave did,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, G, but when you played in as many championship games as I did, you know how that shit looked from the jump. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain energy, it's a certain confidence that just ooze off that team. And the fucking Packers got it. I'm telling you.
But what got you
it's
to that point? Y'all went through something.
Nah, it's from the jump. It's off season, then you see it, boom, first game of the season.
What offseason? He just got there.
Who got that championship aura oozing off of them?
A lot of people have it at the beginning of the season.
Nah, see, we looking through different lenses, G. You know what I'm saying? We looking through way different lenses. I live in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know how that shit looks. You know what I'm saying? I got like 20 games, 15 games in the playoffs. This shit look a certain way. The energy is different. The interviews are different. The quarterback look different. You know why he looked like that? Because the confidence of the whole fucking building
100%.
is through the roof.
Yep.
It
So
just
that makes
look a
him the
certain
best
way.
team in the NFL.
I mean, as if we had to label somebody the best this year, the Packers. I said top
2 weeks
four.
in, though. 2 weeks in.
That's all you could judge it off.
That's all
Is
we
2
have.
weeks.
But what are you
Last
saying?
year don't mean shit. Last year don't mean
saying-
nothing.
leaning towards the Eagles, though.
No, I'm saying we haven't seen them do anything yet.
We
It's
have
2
though.
weeks.
We seen them dominate the NFC chip Commanders. We seen them dominate the number one team.
Last year's team.
That's all we can go off of. That's all we can go off of.
That's
is what
I'm
y'all did last
saying.
year.
We go,
That's
but
it.
this is this year.
And this
You
year,
just
all we
said-
can go off
you
of is
said,
the
You
first
just
2
said
weeks.
we can't go off
It ain't-
last year, but
it-
now we going off last year.
It's definitely not the.
They were
the
favored
Ravens.
to win at
The
home.
Ravens showing what they always show. A great offense.
Exactly.
We got problems.
You proving my
We got
point.
problems winning games. So it's
You
not the
proving my
Ravens.
point. They look excellent, and then when it's time for adversity, what is going to happen? We don't know, so we can't just jump them.
Okay,
it's a lot of
what did Detroit do yesterday? What happened?
Look
They
like the
beat
best offense in the
Chicago.
NFL.
Put up a 50
Who'd you
burger
pick
on
to win
Chicago.
the NFC? You picked Detroit.
picked
Look like the
Detroit.
best offense
I
in
picked
the
Detroit,
NFL.
too.
Okay?
But they beat
How did they look
Chicago.
against Micah and company? They were overwhelmed. They're on their back feet.
And where was
They're
Detroit playing again?
Chicago.
Where were they playing yesterday?
at home?
At home. Where
Yeah.
is the Packers being both games?
At home.
Okay.
Okay.
So when they come out and
They
strike
didn't have
something on
to.
the road.
Did they have to travel on Thursday, or they were at home?
No, so what
Right.
you're saying, though, to that point is, and you mentioned, I'm going back to the offensive side of the things. Like when you say they don't have a number one receiver, they don't have things going on offense, that's a good problem to have right now. 11 guys have caught a pass in the first 2 games. They have Wicks. They have Doves. I know.
They have Golden.
That they have Golden now. We haven't seen what he can do. I know Reed might be hurt, but they got Tucker Kraft. They got Josh Jacobs. They have weapons. And that's almost more of a problem than when you have one premier receiver on the outside,
It's
because
harder
now
to
as a
plan
defense,
for, yeah.
you don't know who to cover.
Right.
You don't know who you're going to defend. And Jordan Love is not locking on one guy anymore like he used to, or if the play breaks down, he's putting his eyes down and taking a sack. Now he's keeping his eyes downfield and scrambling, and they're working that scramble drill against Detroit, who has a very good defense. Against Washington, I know they've got some older guys on that side of the ball,
That's a
but
good
they've got a
defense,
good
though.
defense, and he's doing that against them. And now you add this defense that the Green Bay Packers have, that immediately to me jumps them to the top of the NFC. I really believe that. And maybe
I mean, they ain't
I'm still in on the
rocket
Bills.
science,
I think
bro.
the Bills are number
Who
one.
was looking like the best teams in the NFC at week 2 last year?
The Saints.
Hell no.
They scored 90 points. They blew out y'all.
Yeah.
They probably
they
lost. Then
destroyed y'all.
what did the defense score in them 90 points?
Yep.
What was
They was blowing everybody out. They blew
You know
two
what it
teams
was at
out.
Dallas with Micah Parsons on the field in week 2? It was 35-16 New Orleans at halftime. At halftime, they hung 35 on Micah's defense with him playing every defensive.
So you're
snap.
telling me you watched that game last year and watched the Saints and said, yeah.
This is a Super Bowl
I'm not
team.
saying me.
Fuck no.
I'm not saying me.
Bro, it's an
I don't
aura.
I don't crown people off 2-3 games. I don't even when I
didn't crown
rank.
them.
But listen,
But,
y'all just
yeah.
did. Y'all just said
No,
they
we
the
did.
best.
Right now, in
Now-
this moment, I would take
Exactly.
Green Bay from what I have, based off of the information I have in these 2 weeks. Absolutely, I'm taking Green Bay to win the NFC.
Green Bay
I think-
looks incredible.
I think it's going to be
Okay.
Green Bay.
Let
What
me
else
say
look
this. Let
incredible?
me say this. They look incredible. But let's give it some time before I say they're
agree
the
with that.
best.
But who else
There's
looks
a lot we
incredible?
don't
Say it
know.
right now.
Right now, who else looks incredible?
Buffalo still look incredible.
Okay.
It's a lot of
I'll say that. If she would ask the question about Buffalo,
I'm picking Philly to beat Packers right now because they've been through something.
If she would have asked that about Philly, I would have said, yeah, they look like the best team in the league too.
But the Packers and Philly play right now. I'm taking Philly because they've been through something.
I think Philly's offense right now, how they're playing, struggles against this Green Bay defense. I really do. After what I saw yesterday,
they're going to find a way to win. We don't know if this
they're
team
not
been
winning,
tested.
but I
It's
think
2
they
weeks.
struggle.
Okay, what do your eyes
answer.
tell you about the Packers long term? Do you think they're going to go 9-8? What do you think?
They was already a playoff team. They win 11 games last year, and then you just added Micah Parsons to a top 10 defense. We know 10, 11, 12 wins was minimum for this team.
Okay, so you saying?
But I'm not jumping them to the best team because how good did the Chargers just look?
Okay, are the Eagles going to win the NFC?
Can this team? Okay, we watched Baltimore lose to Buffalo.
That don't mean it wasn't the best team.
No, listen. But I'm saying if you look at Baltimore play, top to bottom, I believe Baltimore still can beat Green Bay. I cannot just put them as the number one team in the NFL off 2 weeks.
Okay, who did you pick to get to the Super Bowl?
I picked Baltimore and the Bucks.
Okay.
I'm picking the Bucks to beat the Packers right now.
Oh, no.
Bucks.
Absolutely.
Go Baker.
I mean,
love it.
you love
Baker, but I don't think that's happening.
I'm not. Jordan Love is playing really good, but we talk about Matt LaFleur. He caused the heck out of these games.
Yeah,
a dog
He called the heck out of these games.
The Bucks should have lost.
You've seen one game from the Bucks so far. What do you
I don't do that. Shoulda. What happened?
The kicker
They
missed
won.
the kick. That's what happened.
They won.
The kicker missed the kick.
So did the Packers.
They don't have that aura. When I watched the Bucks, I didn't say, "Oh, look at that fucking championship aura, bro." You can see it. I didn't see that.
They almost lost Atlanta. I mean, it was the last play of the game, which was a hell of a play.
But also, how much is the energy around Micah going into the Packers or Super Bowl team? I think there's just a lot of hype right now.
That's how it goes.
He energized the heck out of them.
This is a momentum league.
You remember when Khalil Mack went to Chicago? How he energized the heck out of that team?
Yeah.
That's what Micah did. He energized the heck out of them. But as the season went on, we seen they look good right now. But let's see what happens when they start getting tested. You know how I know they get tested? Because they ain't played the Cowboys. When they play the Cowboys, we gonna find out. Ain't that right?
You think the Cowboys are the test?
That's what Skip said.
Skip
said the Cowboys is a test, so that's what we go over.
I use the word honeymoon because this is a honeymoon phase they're in.
It feels great right now. They played the first game and then immediately Thursday, they just rolled the momentum at a home game.
To the point of not looking at last year and not looking at past seasons, I get it. Every year's a new team. But the Packers have had retention. They've had consistency with their head coach. They've had Jordan Love, who's developed. They have players on that roster that are good players, and they've kept those guys around. They're not cleaning house every single year. You can see a team have that upward trajectory. I feel like this is a year based off of what we've seen. I know it's only 2 games. I'm not crowning them Super Bowl champs. We're not getting the rings ready. We're not getting the parade ready to go in Green Bay. But based off of those 2 games and what I've seen in the past and how they've developed, especially with how Jordan Love's playing and the leadership of Matt LaFleur, I believe they're the best team in the NFL.
Bro, the best team in the NFL don't necessarily win the Super Bowl. The best team last year was the Lions to me until they got decimated with injuries. You know what I'm saying? They was the best team. Everybody got hurt. Then they had to find a way. You know what I'm saying? So the best team don't necessarily win the Super Bowl every year. They not the champs. The Ravens might be the best team, but they don't win the Super Bowl every year because they best player, he gets nervous in big games.
Well, you just said the Ravens might be the best team.
Yeah, they might be.
Green Bay, did that mean Green Bay ain't the best team?
Well, see, we got different definitions of the best team. We got different definitions of the best. I got 4 teams that all 4 of y'all looking like y'all could be the best team in the league right now.
Agreed.
But before
so I don't think it just could be one team. Like the best corner, it don't got to be one guy. It's like we can argue about it.
We go year to year, which is fine. We go year to year, which is fine. And I have question marks for the Packers. I have question marks for Philly. You got question marks for everybody in week 2.
Right.
You, like you said, you lived in the playoffs. You know. You don't know who's really who until about week 8, 9-ish. Now you like, okay, these are the ones. It's week 2. All I'm saying is they're playing great, but these 2 weeks, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, yep, put the Packers at the top. Cause of 2 weeks?
Yeah.
We ain't seen nothing.
But you could see it out the gate. Did you look at the Panthers? Did you look at the Raiders after they win and say, ooh, they might could go win a chip.
No, but it's only like
because that
7 to
aura,
8.
it's
It's
an
only
aura.
like 7 to 8 contenders realistically every year anyway, and the Packers was already in
Exactly.
it. They were already in there.
And out of them 7-8 contenders, when you come out looking like the Packers, you like, oh shit. Out of the 7-8 contenders, woo, they fucking hot right now.
Yeah, they hot
looking
right
like they
now.
hitting on all
But
cylinders.
I'm not gonna just jump you all the way. We've seen players. I seen corners come out, and I'm like, hey, he really balling. That don't make him better than Aqib. Look at all that Aqib done did. I'm not just gonna say, oh, he better than Aqib because he got 4 picks in the first 4 weeks. No, that's not what that means. It means he started high. He not better than Aqib. I don't care what y'all I don't crown people just because we seen a couple good games. You can't just jump over all these teams that's been. What about Buffalo? All the tested they done been.
I got Buffalo winning the Super Bowl, and I still think they
Buffalo-
do. But that
Buffalo
doesn't mean I think that the Buffalo in the first half.
The question was the best team. They are one of the best. They've been one of the best.
Yeah, but see, in football,
they just made them better.
The best is not just one person. Like, this football now. Like, you know what I'm saying? A Burrow situation happened to the Eagles, and then they just dropped down. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like it's not just the one best team. That's a broad answer. Who the best? All right, that's about top 4 teams who looking like the best. All these boys looking like they the best.
That's what. Hey, listen. Like I said, it's 8 undefeated teams. It could be 10 by the end of the night.
Okay, but the point is, the 2 most impressive games we've seen, eye test games, were played by the Green Bay Packers.
They were.
Albeit at home in big stage. They got a 4:25 game, late day game, and then they got the Thursday night game.
And Skip has been the biggest hater of the Packers for weeks since we've been here. So if you're saying that, I think obviously we've seen.
Well, I mean, you got to give up what you see.
Top to bottom, the 2 most impressive games we've seen are the Packers.
Yes, that's the point.
Ask me that.
So based off of what that information.
That don't make
Okay,
you the
so let me ask you this. If the team who played the 2 most impressive games this year, are they not looking like the best team in the league?
They look like they played the 2 most impressive games. That don't make you the best. So if I come out in the NBA, no, I'm not. So if I come out in the NBA and I average 40 for the first 2 games, I'm the best player in the league.
You are looking like the best player in the league.
No, you're not.
You are. Hey, and we would be sitting here having that same conversation.
It's
hey,
2
McCoy dropping 40 games, balling.
If y'all was getting blew out and they put all the 2s in and you dropped 20 in the 4th against some bum niggas, then we'd be like, all right, he ain't looking like that. But if you played 2 of the top teams in the league, and you fucking dominated, killed the game and dropped 40, niggas gonna be like, hey, G is looking like the best player in the league
right
this
now,
year, bro.
Based off of
right
what
now,
we see.
looking like the best player in the league.
No, what if you came out and played the Oklahoma City Thunder defense the first game and Houston's defense the second game, and you went 40-40? I'd say that's it, man.
Yeah,
you're it.
Hey,
he look real good, but there's a guy right up the street that's still in the league. There's a guy that's in Houston that's still in the league. That Oklahoma City guy that just won MVP, he's still in the league. There's another guy that's right up the street. There's 2 of them on that team that's still in the league. You look good them 2 games, but let's remember who these other people are.
Okay.
That's all I'm
best
saying.
player ever in conversations. And
all right,
you know what I'm saying?
One last point on this. Remember, Micah couldn't have gotten dropped into a better place at a better moment because they're front running in both games because they jump out ahead so he can do what he does best. Jerry said at the press conference after he traded him, we just don't trust him against the run because he's never played the run, and you can laugh and say, yeah, but what he does best is rush the passer.
True.
But he became a liability against the run. So I'm looking at his snaps. He played 30 that first Sunday game, and only 6 came on running plays. Okay, so they're having to throw because they're behind. And then on Thursday night, he plays 47 snaps. Only 7 times did Detroit run the football while he was in the game. When New Orleans came to Dallas for that 35-point game, they're just giving it to Kamara every time, running at Mike over on the right side. And then Baltimore comes in week 3 at Dallas. They're just he is audibling to Micah's side with the run every time. They ran for 274 yards. So he's in the perfect spot with 3 other first-round picks across the front, and Edgerrin Cooper, who's a second-round pick, who might be the baddest man long run on that defense playing against the run. You couldn't be in a sweeter spot than he fell into. It's like I used to call him 11 from heaven when he was a rookie. Now 11 went to number 1, but number 1's in heaven up in Green Bay,
for real.
right? Seriously, that's heaven for him. But we'll see how long that lasts.
And I think it's his circumstances too. You kind of get off that pedestal a little bit. And even though the media is cranking him up, the city is nothing to do, bro.
Let's see when
he goes to a sandwich shop. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then he from up north. He like that Timberlands and bubble jackets. He like to play in that. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you need to see then? By what week, if the Packers are still rolling, are you going to say?
They play the Browns, Cowboys, Bengals, Cardinals, Steelers, Panthers. So I guess we still ain't gonna know for 5.
And what if they don't have any adversity through those first 8 games?
Listen,
I guess we still ain't
how
gonna
I operate. Here's how I operate. I don't care if you Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, or if you nobody and nobody. When I base stuff, I keep the same basis for everything. By week 8 or 9, we know who's who.
Okay.
And at that point, I can say, you know what? The Packers gonna be hard to keep out.
8 or 9. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's mid-season.
By week 8, they're gonna be fucking 8-0.
That's mid-season.
They're gonna be 8-0 by week 8. They're gonna be 8-0.
And
7-1.
And then as we go, and then as we go into it, as the season goes on, you go into the playoffs, and then that's where everything changes. That's where everything starts to flip again.
Yep.
Because now it's who can game plan the best, who elevates they play.
Yeah.
All we can go off is the regular season versus the playoffs. That's two different things. But by week 8, 9, 10-ish now, because they added a game. If the Packers are still here, it's like, okay, now you're being unrealistic.
Clip it.
2 weeks.
Hey, clip it.
Hey, this my camera 7. Hey,
clip it.
Listen, week 8 or 9, the Packers still doing what we seeing. I have no problem. This is how I feel. I'm a phenomenal loser. Like, I can take an L and I lost. Oh, but don't let me be right. Ooh, don't let me be right. But if I'm wrong, I come in and say, hey, listen, y'all was right, this and this, but it's still not going to change nothing for me. I don't crown people as fast. I don't put quarterbacks because they had a good rookie year. Oh, he's elite. No, he's not. I don't put a guy who had one good season because I've seen too much football where I see a player have a phenomenal. I seen Jason Babin get 18 sacks and then never to be heard from again.
But that year he got them 18 sacks. He was looking like the damn best.
Yeah, but then we come into the next year, and then what happened? I've seen too much to where I don't crown people too early. So I'm not saying the Packers are not legit. I'm saying they're not the best because we haven't seen anything
Okay,
yet.
but if I rephrase the question and said, who's the current from what we've seen, right? That's all I had to say.
I'm still not going to say the Packers.
Who are you saying then?
The Bills.
I still got Philly.
Oh, Philly and the Bills.
Look at what they just did. They've had 2 adversity field games, and they came out on top. They found a way. That's when you know you've been through something. That's why I said best. Battled everything, successfully triumphed. They've been through everything, and they're still winning. Kansas City, I was there for training camp. I watched them, how they felt. How they felt about Philly, look at the difference in the game. Look at how the defense played. I know Jalen didn't play his best game, but look at the intensity of the defense. Kansas City, we're going to get into this, but Kansas City's dealing with a lot on the offensive side of the ball, but look at the intensity. Jalen Hurts didn't play the best, but what happened when when rubber needed to meet the road? They blitzed everybody. He threw that thing up, and Devontae found a way. Get off me. Let me get this. We getting in this end zone.
And then they ran the damn tush push over and over. That's what happened.
Hey, but guess what?
Started and
what did the end of that score say? W versus L. They got the W. That's all.
I'm a Jalen Hurts believer.
Drop ball by
All
All-Pro away. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen. Sometimes they gotta go your way, man.
You know it's gonna get.
Okay, 57% of the chat is saying the Packers are the best team in the NFL, but
I'm
obviously
surprised it's not more.
Yeah,
because they know what I know. It's 2 weeks.
and there's a lot of people in contention.
Somebody got to be the best through 2 weeks.
But let's talk Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so potential game-ending interception in the end zone, and you could see Rodgers was yelling at receiver Calvin Austin III. Okay, but Aaron Rodgers owns the best touchdown to interception ratio in the NFL history. Okay, so Aqib, are we rethinking Aaron Rodgers leading the Steelers to the playoffs?
I don't think so. I think they're gonna finish strong, man.
Okay.
It was a 14-14 game starting the fourth quarter. A-Rod drove down. He was this close to taking the lead. He threw a dot really to Freiermuth in the corner. Freiermuth saw himself catching the ball. Calvin Austin has come out of nowhere, tipped the ball to get intercepted. You know what I'm saying? So they go down.
You want to put that on Rodgers?
Hell no, that's not on A-Rod. You know what I'm saying? That's him throwing a dot. That's a miscue. Calvin thinking it's to him. He come tip the ball to get intercepted. They held him to a punt right there. They end up getting a field goal, then the bonehead play by Johnson. That's a 10-point swing. That's what lost them the game. You know what I'm saying? Now, the defense got to be better. The man coverage was trash. Jalen got to come on. That's my guy. Ramsey got to come on now. Hey, they going to lean on you to stop guys like Smith and Jigba in the slot and some of the top guys. You got to stand up, baby. You know what I'm saying? So the man coverage got to be better. The defense in general has to be better. But A-Rod, he played an amazing game. And to me, man, he manipulated the pocket. He threw one dime to fire move. He dropped the ball. Like, bro, he's making plays with his feet. He's making plays with his arm. He's not the reason they lost that game last night. So until he's the reason they lose a game, I wouldn't say they're out of there. You know what I'm saying? As long as your quarterback playing like A-Rod, you got a chance to win, just like they had a chance to win last night. That's a good Seahawks team they played against yesterday. So I still give them a chance, man. That defense is going to get better. That defense is too good to put together back-to-back weeks like that.
Do you think the Seahawks is a good team right now?
I think the Seahawks is a good team. They sneaky good. I think they the 6 or 7 seed in the NFC West. I think they're going to slide in.
So you're saying Pittsburgh has a chance or is a lock to make the playoffs?
Well, I don't know. Injuries play a big part on locks. So I can't predict the future now, Skip. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I feel like they got a great chance to be 6, 7, 8. They're going to be around that range, depending on how healthy they are at the end of the year. They got a great chance. How A-Rod is playing that quarterback, they got a great chance to make the playoffs.
And Joe Burrow just got hurt too, so that's going to play a
That
factor.
helps.
Yep.
I'm going to agree with Aqib simply because last year when I said that A-Rod should go to Pittsburgh, the reason I chose them was a couple different reasons. Sometimes your quarterback can transcend your coach. He can't transcend Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has done and seen everything, so he's going to come in here. And a big thing with A-Rod has been how he's controlled everything. The coaches, how things move. I don't want him here. He go this, and this. He can't do that in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. So their success was going to be based off how far back is Aaron Rodgers sitting on the bus. He's not at the front of the bus on this team. You got to sit back there. You still A-Rod, but you sitting back there on this bus because you're not the A-Rod that you once were. However, since Big Ben, Mike Tomlin's formula has been run the ball, play great defense. Mm-hmm. These 2 weeks, and this is not my words, TJ Watt came out his own mouth and said, and I watched the tape, but he said himself, the tape was awful defensively. Up front, the tape that I watch is not Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh Steelers D-line play. Mm-hmm. None of them. TJ Watt, future Hall of Famer. Cam Hayward, in my opinion, is a future Hall of Famer. They both just got paid. When that happens, you have high expectations, but they've been so consistent with how they played these first 2 weeks. Not just them, the whole D-line been getting bullied. There's a, like y'all said about the Packers, it just looks a certain way. Mm-hmm. The way they looking up front, it just looks bad. Like they getting thrown all over the place. D-linemen, we're taught to play on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage. They all moving back. You never want to go horizontal. You always want to go vertical. They going horizontal. They out of their gaps. They just all over the place. So you talking about the DBs and the man coverage up front. They not the pressure that they usually get, they're not getting. It was at 40% week 1. It dropped to 20-some% yesterday. It just don't look good. So if our formula is run the ball, which they haven't been able to, and play great defense, they have A-Rod is brought in. All they needed was the missing piece was get somebody who can push the ball down the field when necessary and can make all those dynamic throws when necessary. Aqib just told you, he did it yesterday. Yep. He made the throws necessary. Mm-hmm. We going off the 2 picks. He airmailed one, the second one, but the first one, he hit him right in the hands. Mm-hmm. That's not on A-Rod. He made the necessary plays. I believe that they can still make the playoffs. Yesterday was not on A-Rod.
So if they can get their defense together.
This defense get back. This defense get back to playing how they played under Mike Tomlin. This is a playoff team, I believe.
And Warren ain't even run the ball bad yesterday.
Yeah,
he really had some solid runs in there.
But like you said,
10-point swing happened. They had to go more pass heavy, and they kind of had to slow down running the football. But up until that point, he was running the ball solid. It's 14-14. He had some good runs.
But even like you said, the special teams play, that's a boneheaded play. You can't give that up. Like Mike, he said, you can't win if you can't lose the game.
He lost the game.
They lost the game. They should have won. They were in position to win that game. And, you know, like, I still believe that A-Rod can be the guy, take this team to playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I'm rethinking it.
Yeah.
About that, but I'm not ready to change my answer. I do think the Steelers are still a playoff football team. I mean, my biggest concern right now, like you guys said, isn't Aaron Rodgers. We knew what we were going to get from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's 41 years old. He's not going to do like he did last week, throw 4 touchdowns and win the game with his right arm. He's not going to be that 4-time NFL MVP player. The Steelers knew that when they got him. Now, I do think there were some concerns on film. I disagree a little bit on that red zone pick. It's first down. Don't force that. There's 4 guys in that area. Do not try to force that throw. Throw it away and then get a better opportunity on second down. And honestly, it could have been 3 picks. He had one that went right through the defender's hand. So it could have been 3 picks.
Dig over the middle.
If we're being honest. So I do think Rodgers is to blame for a good amount of that. But my biggest concern, like Gerald just said, is the defense. I mean, this was supposed to be a top 5, top 3 defense. And right now, they do not look like that. They are struggling to get stops on that side of the ball. They had a couple turnovers, great, but you can't live off that. You've got to be consistent on the defensive side of the ball. That's what you're known for. In the last 2 games, they've given up 400 yards of offense and 30 points. I know one of those touchdowns was by Johnson dropping that field goal, so 24. But right now, they're 29th in total defense and 29th in scoring defense.
Yeah.
That is not good enough. You're not going to win games like that, especially when you have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. The other thing that concerns me right now, and also, they didn't play great offenses. They played the Jets that looked awful yesterday, even when Justin Fields went out. They looked terrible. I'm not sold on the Seahawks offense as well. I think Sam Darnold's playing better, but they only put up 13 points and 230 yards in week 1 at home against San Francisco. So I'm not sold on those 2 offenses, and they're struggling against them. I'm worried what it's going to look like when they get to the rest of the teams in the AFC and they play Mahomes, and they play Lamar Jackson, and they play Josh Allen, and they play Justin Herbert. I know Burrow's out, but when they play those guys, if they don't get it fixed, it's going to be an issue, and they're not going to have a chance. The other thing I worry about is the run game. I like Jalen, too. I think he's a good player. The running back, Warren. But right now, when your run game is non-existent, you are handcuffing Aaron Rodgers. Right? You have 53 yards in the first game, 72 yesterday. He is a play-action quarterback. That's where he excels. How many times do we see him do the reverse out, the pirouette with the fake handoff, and then he hits the guy over the middle? Or he does those quick, lead fakes with his left hand, gets his hand on the ball, and throws a quick post. That's where he excels. When you take the run game away, you are taking away a big part of Aaron Rodgers' game. So, again, I'm rethinking it. I'm not fully out. I think the Steelers get it figured out. I believe in Mike Tomlin. I believe in that defense. They went out and got a ton of Pro Bowlers, a ton of superstars. It's going to take time for them to get comfortable.
Do you think they'll make the playoffs?
I do. I do still think they make the playoffs. If you ask me, I guess this kind of contradicts what I said in the first 2 games about the Packers, but give me a couple more weeks, ask me again, I'll let you know. But right now, I still think they're going to be
Gerald's
a playoff
like,
football
thank
team.
you so much. I'm right.
Yeah.
You guys make a lot of good points, and now I'm going to make
Here you
mine.
go.
I'm going to say what I've been saying for 3 years, not 2 years, 3 years about Aaron bleepin' Rodgers. He is, to use LeBron's favorite word, washed, as in washed up. And he was the last year in Green Bay, which is why they said no to Aaron. He was washed at New York, which is why the Jets said no to Aaron. The Pittsburgh Steelers will not make the playoffs. I'm putting it in concrete right here, right now. They will not make the playoffs in large part because of the quarterback, because he's lost a lot of his nerve in the pocket, a lot of his stomach for playing football at the highest level. He's lost some arm strength. And here we went again. And I'm with you on the pick in the end zone because it's a high traffic situation on first down. You just don't risk it. And he did throw a dot. It turned into a dot. And I don't know what Calvin Austin was doing because he ran the wrong route. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But this is Aaron bleepin' Rodgers. This is why he fell apart with the Packers, because he shows up his receivers constantly on national TV in big games on big stages. And you saw what he did after that. He had to do a big, swinging his fist like, come on, you ran the wrong route. He's trying to say, it's your fault, it's not my fault. And you can make the case.
It was.
Okay, but you can't do it to those. I know we don't have a receiver on the panel today, but I did a lot of work with Greg Jennings, who worked a lot with Aaron and caught the post pass that broke open that Super Bowl that Aaron won like 15 years ago. But the point is, those receivers get sick and tired of him going diva, blame deflecting, finger pointing. It's always their fault. It's never his fault. He doesn't take post-game blame for, I screwed that up. It was my fault. Like Andy Reid yesterday just took all the blame because he always does. And that's why they love him. So to me, I look at, he threw for barely 200 yards. His QBR was 31. That scale is 0 to 100, which is no good. So it didn't like him yesterday. And he hit Jalen Warren 4 times for 86 yards. So he's flipping it to his back a bunch of times. So almost half of his passing yards went to his back.
And one of them was on that 65-yard.
It was. That's what I'm saying. Like that sort of padded the stats. And they had 267 total yards. It's not good enough. I agree with all your points about the defense. I've been shell-shocked watching I don't know. They're way better than that. And if they do have a chance to sneak in the back door of the playoffs, it's because of the head coach, and the defense has got to come back to life. I don't see any life. I don't know what they're playing half-ass give-up sort of football where I don't see them playing with any urgency and intensity that they're all highly capable. You just mentioned all those guys. You're talking about some there are 2 Hall of Famers in the line, and there's definitely 1 Hall of Famer in the defensive backfield, and I'm not seeing that. My eyes tell me something is wrong with that picture on defense right now, because the strength of the team is the defense. And after a while, look what Aaron did last year with the Jets. So he's got 2 top 10 receivers, because Devontae was there and Garrett Wilson. And their defense last year wound up 3rd in yards allowed. That'll work. It's pretty good. He went 5-12 as the starter last year for the Jets, because he's not Aaron Bleepin Rodgers anymore. He's 41, and he doesn't take care of himself the way Brady did at 44 and 45. So you can't. The quarterback can't just ride in the very back of the bus unless you have the 2000 Ravens defense or the 2002 Bucks defense or your defense in Denver. Then the quarterback, because Peyton kind of went along for the ride that year, right? I mean, no
Fourth quarter Peyton.
What's that?
He was fourth quarter Peyton.
Yeah.
He was. He made some throws when it mattered, but he wasn't Peyton Manning anymore.
Definitely.
But you can get away with Trent Dilfer with the Ravens and Brad Johnson with the 2002 Bucks. If you have an all-time defense, well, they have the makings, maybe not of an all-time, but they have the makings of a top 5 defense. I ain't seeing it. I don't know if you guys are.
And
right?
to your point, Skip, the reason I said he needed to go to Pittsburgh is because, remember how you said he's showing up his receivers.
He does.
Yeah.
What coach has he had? This has been his MO. But what coach has he had that can say, hey,
no.
we don't do that here. Tighten up, man. Hey, we brought you here. We wanted you here, but we don't do that. Mike Tomlin can.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying
he
needed to be where Mike Tomlin, a coach like Mike Tomlin, because you look around the league, it ain't many of them. Like Mike Tomlin, he say what he want in the media.
Yeah.
He say it how he want it to be done, and this is why he's had so much success. I believe that Mike Tomlin, like Aqib said, can fix his defense, but not only that, he can check that at the door. Hey, we seen it.
Yeah.
I seen that. We don't do that here. Don't do that no more. But he can check that at the door, but then even so, Aaron Rodgers, I understand he lost arm strength and all that, but we still seen he had good pocket feet, his slide moving. He made some throws on the run.
Agreed.
But like you said, fourth quarter Peyton, he still can do that when he needs to. And that's why I still believe they can make the playoffs, because he still can make every throw. It might not look how it used to look, but that throw he threw to the sideline to Woods fire move, man, boy, come on, man.
Like on the run.
That ain't normal stuff.
And he was coming off his back foot.
That's what I'm saying. That ain't normal
He still
stuff.
has it.
Even the pass in the corner to fire move, y'all say it's forced, but I say it's the A-Rod throw. That's the fucking throw.
That's the A-Rod throw. That's
on making throws like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just because Austin ran the wrong route and thought he could make, I don't know what kind of catch he thought he was going to make. He just was running this way, dove this way, tipped the ball. Like, bro, but he needs somebody to get on his ass. And I guarantee you, Mike Tomlin ain't say nothing. Get on his ass.
But you
So you're
know
fine
what
with that
you
as a
do?
player?
Hell yeah.
But you know what you do as a quarterback and you're Aaron Rodgers is you throw it away, then you get on his ass after the play.
That's
you don't
what you would do,
compound the
Cody.
problem.
That's what Cody would do.
Agreed, but
that's
in that,
not what A-Rod would do.
But then you get an interception, and then
make
you get
them throws.
Then you get an interception and traffic jam in the red zone with the game on the line. I mean, it's 14-14. Like, that is a huge moment in that game.
Right.
Instead of trying to beat A-Rod and make that throw, and I get that. No one can do what he can do as a passer. But because Austin ran the wrong route, if he did, I don't even know if he did, but if he did, you don't compound the problem, try to force it, and then go, what the hell are you doing, and show him up. You throw it away, bring him back. You can show some emotion, but say, hey, don't do that again. Let's go get him on second down. Let's not have a turnover in the red zone. But the other question I have.
Everybody handles leadership differently.
100%. But the other question I have going to that, and your point saying that's A-Rod, do you think now, at 41 years old, and this is, I watch a ton of film, this isn't the same offense that Aaron Rodgers has been running his entire career to where he's in charge. This is Arthur Smith's offense. This is different. And now you have Mike Tomlin who's going to check him. Do you think, even though it sounded great in the offseason with those personalities, that Rodgers is going to turn around when things start going bad like they did yesterday and the offense isn't looking great where he's going to go, yes sir, no sir, whatever you say, coach? I just feel like there's going to be...
You don't have to do that. You don't have to be that way, man. It's a grown man conversation that's being had there. If Miles Austin, if you fucked up my touchdown pass, you need to get cussed out, bro. Simple as that. It's a grown man sport. We all get a check on Wednesday or whatever day we used to get paid. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's part of it. If it start going left and A-Rod want to get at somebody, I'm guarantee you Mike Tomlin going to let him do what he do. Sometimes he might pull him to the side and say, all right, that's enough. Ease off him a little bit. But that's why he brought him in. They need a veteran quarterback to lead. It's a quarterback-driven league. You need a guy like A-Rod to lead this thing. You can't win without it.
But do you feel like Aaron Rodgers has actually been a positive leader?
I believe.
I don't think he's had a lot of problems.
Yeah, but I believe. But think about it. Like you just said, if Mike, he has to be.
Because it hasn't.
If Robert Saleh, if he got on somebody and Robert Saleh pulled A-Rod to the side, do you think he gonna listen to Robert Saleh? No. But he'll be willing if Mike Tomlin say, hey, look, this is where we at. This is how we kind of been doing things. I've been with this kid, this and this. With him, man, DK, dude, talk to him, be like, y'all, him just kind of whatever. And he'll at least, because it's Mike Tomlin saying it, be willing to be like, you know what? All right, let me adjust. He gonna be who he is. He's gonna be who he is. You love Tom Brady's fierce competitiveness because if you mess up, he don't care who you are.
He gonna get on your ass.
He don't care who you are. I practice against Tom Brady, and I see him cuss out these dudes.
But he does it on the sideline, on the bench.
Loud as hell in front of everybody.
Yeah, but it's everybody.
If Tom wasn't winning, then he might have an A-Rod tag where he kind of blames this, but he winning, so it comes off as fierce competitor, great leader.
Yeah.
So if you're not winning, it comes off totally different.
That's two different mindsets. I haven't been with Aaron Rodgers.
Why? Because he's winning?
I was with Tom in New England. When you watch it, I just feel like the mannerisms are different. Comparing those two. But my question is, great, that's a great point, and I agree with you too. There's a time and place to go out there and cuss out your receivers and hold them accountable. But my issue is, let's fast forward a little bit. Say they are 2-4 to start the year. And say Rodgers has 9 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, and they're 30th in their run offense, and they're struggling to get things going. You still think he's going to let Mike Tomlin pull him aside, and it's going to be still the honeymoon phase, and, hey, Arthur Smith, I love your play calls. You don't think, hey, I'm 41. This might be my last chance ever to get a ring or at least to leave my mark on the NFL. He didn't come back to be, yes, sir, whatever you say, Coach Tomlin. He came back to play football.
If
it goes bad, I feel like that could.
But when you
I'm not
bring
saying
him
Tomlin's
in,
not a great coach. I just think Rodgers might ruin that relationship if it's not going the way that
but
he wants.
Does have a different respect for Mike.
When you bring him in, that's why you brought him in.
Right.
You know what changed in Tampa? I understand. I'm not comparing Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. That's not what I'm doing.
No, I hear you.
But what I am saying is, Skip, you remember in 2020 when they was kind of struggling, whatever, then they had that bye week? What happened? Tom Brady went upstairs.
Yeah.
He said, let me do my thing. We trying to run the Bruce Arians, no risk it, no biscuit offense. That's not how I got to 6 rings.
Yep.
I got the 6 rings because I'm going to run, play action. We get on the ball. We're going to stretch here. Then I go here. Let me do my Tom Brady thing. And what happened? They didn't lose another game. You need that guy that's going to say, you know what? The offense is cool, but I still got this up here.
Yep.
Let me adjust some stuff to where now he can operate under kind of how I see it and how I want. Now we get on the same page, and then things change. That's why you bring him in. I ain't got no knock on Russell Wilson, but I guarantee he wasn't going up there and saying, hey, let's run this offense. Russell Wilson is, when he was with Denver, it was let's ride. Now he big blue in New York. He don't have that I'm coming in and I'm making the right decisions for this is what I've done. Aaron Rodgers has that. That's why you go get a guy like that.
Yeah.
That's why Tampa went and got Tom Brady. He went upstairs and said, listen, this is cool, but just trust me on this. Let's do it like this.
And if
granted, it's Tom Brady, but that's why you bring him in there. If he gets to 2-4, he like this ain't working.
Yeah.
They want him to say,
Exactly.
hey, look, this ain't working,
It's
dog.
time for a change anyway.
Let's switch some stuff up. That's all I'm
You
saying.
think Tomlin's going to be fine going, all right, you got
If they
it.
2-4, Tomlin going to be fine
Tomlin
with
gonna
anything.
be like, man, you still Aaron Rodgers. Like,
And to that point, like I agree. The best quarterback coordinator relationships, it's not a dictatorship, it's a collaboration.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You have to be able to work with your quarterback. You got to be able to be on the same page and have your offense coordinator comfortable. Just right now, Rodgers is running a different offense than he's ever ran. And Arthur Smith is more in charge than Aaron Rodgers right now. Now, I'm not in the meeting room, and I don't know how much freedom he has to make all the checks. I'm sure he has a green light to do whatever he wants, but this is Arthur Smith's offense. And I just feel like if it starts going south and it's not looking great, and they've had one good week on offense, one bad week on offense, but if they get to that 2-4, even 3-3, and they're not getting anything going in the run game and it's not looking good, I just feel like there's going to be some conflict, and I worry that Rodgers at 41 is going to have trouble saying, okay, you know what, this is your offense, but here are my opinions. I think he's going to say, hey, I'm done with this shit. This is what we're doing. I know who I am. I'm 4-time MVP, and if you want to save this season, then I've got to be able to be in charge.
what's wrong with that?
There's not. There's not.
If you're
But there's
2-4,
gonna be-
3-3, then I'm sure everyone in the building is looking for that.
No, I don't disagree, but I'm just saying, will that create conflict? I'm not saying it needs to
I don't
happen.
think so, 'cause
I'm always on the player side.
Who's the two
but
people you said? Who's the offensive coordinator?
that I was with?
Arthur Smith.
Oh, Arthur Smith.
Arthur
Oh, yeah.
Smith. The head coach is Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
He is Aaron Rodgers. That's why I said some players transcend the coach. So Arthur Smith, Mike Tomlin gonna be like, Arthur Smith, Aaron Rodgers. Hey man, that's cool. We listening to him.
At 41, and
No,
Okay.
we ain't listening to Arthur. We listening to A-Rod.
And now you're one upping your coach and jumping your coach, saying, all right, you know what, Smith, you're out. I get that.
That's
you gotta
hey,
win
listen,
games.
that's the Mike Tomlin thing. He
And I'm
head
not
coach.
talking about if that's going to make them successful. I'm talking more so about conflict within the walls. I just
forgive
worry
me for
that would be an
interrupting,
issue.
but it's been too long since I've talked about my Cowboys.
Let's hear it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
It's been too long.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
I just got it.
60% of the chat said the Steelers are going to be a playoff team. We'll
Yeah.
find out. Okay, Giants-Cowboys.
Yeah.
That game was everything I love about football. 4 touchdowns in the final 6 minutes of regulation, walk-off field goal in overtime, 984 yards on offense. That was Russell Wilson, 450 yards. Dak, 361 yards. Skip, we know you love it. So after the overtime escape, though, are you glass half full or glass half empty on your Cowboys?
I am glass full on my
Full.
Cowboys.
Not even half full.
Not even half full. And you can laugh at me if you want. You can call this the ugliest dub in NFL history, and you might be right, but I don't care. Because yesterday we won a football game. We won it, the same kind of football game we would have lost a year ago. That's why I love my new, younger head coach. I love the energy that he has brought, because all I know for sure is that we would have won the opener on banner night at Philadelphia if CD hadn't dropped 4 passes. And all I know is that yesterday we won because we have the ultimate nuclear weapon in pro football. This guy, number 17, Brandon Aubrey, who is the greatest kicker in the history of football. I've never seen, again, Adam Vinatieri, he clutched up again and again and again in many more big moments than Brandon has had. But every opportunity he's had, he is effortless from 70 yards. He's going to kick a 70-yarder before it's over. He doesn't sweat it. He doesn't look like he's even trying, and he's thunderfoot. It just rockets off his foot. And the 64-yarder he made to force overtime was just a thing of beauty. At first, I didn't think he hit it that well, and it was easy. It cleared by 10 yards. So you can laugh at me and say they gifted you with, 14 penalties for 160 yards, and you got me. And you can say their backup tackle had 4 penalties in the first 6 plays of the football game and had to resort to taking a swing instead of blocking the guy trying to get to their passer. And you can tell me that we had coverage bust after coverage bust, breakdown after breakdown in the secondary, and you would be right but we won. And you can tell me that we turned back Russell Wilson's clock 10 years and that he had one of the greatest deep throwing days of his career, and he can throw
He
did.
the moon ball TD bomb.
Yep.
There's really not been anybody better over the last 15 years in the NFL.
Not for real.
Nah, the way he can.
I mean, it's just
I got hit by that moon ball one time.
Did you? Because you want to talk about dropping it down the chute? I mean,
Yeah.
he is dropping
It's
it.
not just a regular
okay?
throw. It's how he gets it over the
And
top.
yet, think about this. We're down 13-3, and then we're down 23-20, and we're down 30-27, and we're down 37-34, and we just kept coming back until finally Russ made one mistake. He only made one the whole game, and it cost them the game because our quarterback just kept hanging in. And I'm not a big fan of Dak in the postseason because I can't show you anything but 2-5, but in the regular season, he can be as good as anybody out there, and he clutched up yesterday because he's got two of the most dangerous wideouts in pro football, and he utilized both of them at the highest level when it mattered most.
Yep.
And the throw that he made to Jake Ferguson just up the seam at the end of regulation, it went for 14 yards. And I thought the game is over at that point. There's 14 seconds left. And if he doesn't make that throw to Jake Ferguson, we lose.
Yep.
Because you got to get him within 70 yards.
Yep.
And then the incredible thing is, they got one more play they can run, and they just give it to Javonte, who, by the way, has been a pleasant surprise for me. I didn't see that coming at all because he can tote the rock in ways that we haven't been able to. But they just give up and let him run for 3 more yards to make it a 64-yard field goal. When back in the day, I mean, anything over 45 was a miss usually, right? And now 64 is like an extra point to him. So to me, I sit back and I say, Dak clutched up, the receivers clutched up, the defense could be a disaster, especially in the secondary. You can laugh all you want about no Micah pass rush, but in the end, all I know and all I care about is we won the football game, and we should be 2-0, and I like what my eyes are telling me about the football team, especially on offense. And again, we didn't have Deron Bland, and he's our best corner. Trevon Diggs is a disaster to me. And he was Micah's best friend.
He hurt, Skip.
No, seriously, but he was Micah's best friend. He's coming back from ACL reconstruction.
He hurt still.
I got it, but that was just sad yesterday watching him kind of tiptoe after receivers. It's just hard for me to watch. And we lost our center in overtime, Cooper Beebe, who's pretty good. And we lost Kevontae Turpin, who's a real weapon for us and a return weapon. He's the best returner in football. And none of that mattered because we won the bleeping game. That's all I know for sure is we won, and let's go to Chicago and get another one.
I'm with you, Skip. I think I said the Cowboys offense would be lights out.
Yeah.
Shit, they was lights out. You know what I'm saying? So
They were.
threw the ball around, said Pickens would have his debut. Pickens had his debut.
Yeah.
He put his stamp on the game.
He put his
And I think the
Yeah.
offense is going to
That's
look
good.
like that all year. But the reason that the Cowboys only win about 8 games, like I predicted at the beginning, first show or whatever, because that defense, man, they are an off-season away from having a top-notch defense. They need to have a Broncos-like defense. They need to bring in 4 impact guys and 1 in the draft. You know what I'm saying? A Bradley Roby in the draft.
But didn't you say this was a tank season? Now you're saying 8 games?
I said it's a bridge year. This is a bridge year. It's a
That was Gil that said tank.
yeah.
I
Gil said tank. I said it's a bridge year, bro. They going to play good on offense. The defense not going to be there. But when the offseason hit, they're going to have 52 M's to spend.
Yep.
And they're going to have a bunch of draft picks to get some guys, trade, or draft some guys. They're going to be able to clean up that defense with what they got in their pocket in this offseason. So the offense looked amazing, Skip. The kicker looked amazing. But unfortunately, that's only half the battle. The other battle was the defense. Diggs still hurt, Bland down. The rush was absent. Parsons is in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The rush was absent. Russell was able to sit back there and throw moon balls, so to speak. And it's going to look like that all year for him, Skip. It's going to look like
Deep
that.
was not looking good.
So after the offseason, the Cowboys will be the team to beat next year. They're going to be ready to go next year.
Can I just add a little encouragement for the D-line? Pass rush, you have to know how to pass rush. It's not just – what makes Micah special is the fact that he got all this God-given ability.
True.
But any true pass rusher will tell you Micah don't know how to pass rush.
I agree.
He doesn't know how. There is a way to pass rush. Pass rush is not just my skill or ability to be fast off the ball or stop and go or whatever. You got to know what to use, when to use it. You need to know formations. You need to know whether you're getting chips. I did a breakdown of Myles Garrett, and what makes him so special is he's highly intelligent with when to rush, how to rush. He knows when the chip is there, so I need to fall back underneath. He knows how to. My encouragement is for the pass rush in Dallas, it can be coached up to where it can be better than it was. Because I'm looking, you got Kenny Clark. He's good enough in interior to rush.
He had a sack.
Solomon Thomas, he was a top 5 pick.
Yep.
He can still, you see how explosive he was yesterday?
Yep.
Donovan, the kid from Boston College, as a rook.
Yeah, as a rock.
Yeah. James Houston, he had 8 sacks as a rookie.
He did.
In Detroit.
He had one yesterday.
Y'all just signed Clowney. Y'all still got Osa, Odigizua.
Yep.
It's how it's being coached
and
up.
Dante Fowler led Washington last year with 10.5 sacks.
So
he's a Cowboy.
So you need to, if y'all's coach will coach them up properly, put them in position, start breaking down the film to where these formations, this is what we need to do. You can up your pressure and your sacks on the quarterback by coaching it up well. So there's a little encouragement there, but here's also what I'll say. Y'all did win the game, but I always was taught this. Never accept in a win what you want in a loss. So there was a lot that happened yesterday that just so happened to go y'all's way. But like Aqib said, it's a lot there that, yes, y'all got the win, and that's the ultimate goal is to win.
It just did.
But there's a lot there that needs to be corrected.
By the way, we did have 3 sacks. We got him on the ground 3 times, so it wasn't like no sacks, just for the record.
I think one of them was that fumble he threw backwards, though. I think they counted that.
Well, they gave it a team sack.
Okay,
so,
all right.
Okay.
I'll say this, and I love you, Skip, and I've had a blast getting the debate with you, but I'm going to go in a little bit here. I think this is a glass half empty situation. I know it's tough to win in the NFL, and you have to celebrate all wins. It's tough to win every single week, but to come out at home with 10 days to prepare and recover and game plan for a Giants football team that looked very bad in week 1, and you have to sneak by kicking a 64-yarder at the end of regulation to win that game. It's just tough for me if I'm a Cowboys fan to see the positives in that. I mean, the Giants handed the Cowboys this football game. They were 1 for 5 in the red zone. They had 14 penalties for 160 yards, and those were the only ones that were accepted. I know the Cowboys had 12 for 106, so that evens out a little bit, but it was just a game that the Giants dominated that they just could not finish. And I do think they were hindered by their head coach. I hate the call by Brian Daboll to go for it on 4th down with 10 minutes and 25 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. It is 13-10. You are on the road against a division rival. Take the points. Those are going to matter. When it's a back and forth game, take the points. But they go for it. Or have a lot better play call than what they ran. Russ avoided the rush, or didn't even have a rush. He just escaped the pocket.
He tried to
throw it to Scatterbo, who's your man winner. You throw the sit over the ball or the end cut by Neighbors in zone. He throws the man winner, which was a terrible read, but I also think you get up there and get a man zone check. If it's zone, we have the play called. If it's man, kill, get to your man call. I did not like that. But with that being said, this defense really worries me, Skip. They do. I mean, they looked lost out there. They looked like they lacked effort. The communication wasn't there. They struggled to stop Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, they could not slow those guys down. And I know Trayvon Diggs is dealing with some injuries, but he gave up big play after big play. And he's supposed to be your superstar. When you're having issues with that guy, that's going to trickle down to the rest of the team. And it's going to be tough to stop. But the biggest point I have on this is, and Aqib said it, was that Russell Wilson had all day to throw in the pocket, and he could let those down the field plays develop. What I talked about last week, when you have a dominant pass rush or pass rushers, the number one thing you do as a quarterback is get the quick game. Let's get the ball out. Let's chip. Let's have that internal clock in my head be a little bit quicker. That wasn't the case yesterday. Wilson was as comfortable in the pocket as he's ever been in his entire career in Seattle. I mean, he was sitting back there throwing bomb after bomb. So that worries me. They got to be able to get that fixed. And just overall, I think the offense played well. They did a good job. They won them that football game. CeeDee Lamb bounced back. They had Javonte Williams. I'm excited about the element he adds to the run game. But just if that defense can't get it figured out, they play the Bears next, so they'll have a little bit of time to get it fixed. I'm not worried about that offense. But in 2 weeks, they play Green Bay on Sunday night. And they are going to get, Gil's not here, but they're going to get boot to ass in that game. If they don't get things corrected, today needs to be accountability hour in the film room. Figure out what we need to get fixed, because if you don't, it's going to be a long season.
Did they get boot to ass at Philly on opening Thursday?
No. In the second half, they did. In the first half, they were struggling, and Hurts was play after play. You know who they missed right there was Micah Parsons. And that was another factor in this game. You needed Parsons in this game.
That defense held Philly to 3 points in the second half.
In the second
on
half.
a 58-yard field goal.
But they just gave up 500 yards of total offense and 450 yards of passing offense to the Giants. And they averaged 7.8 yards per play. That is not winning football.
And Philly not hitting on all cylinders on offense neither. That's why.
At home with 10. I mean, you played on Thursday and you had 10 days to prepare for this game, and that's what you came out with. That's what worries me.
This is why I talk about knowing how to rush. You got to know your advantages.
Yeah.
Your D-line is at home. You got the crowd with you.
Yeah.
They going on silent. Cheat the count.
Yeah.
Like, there's ways to have the advantage. To do that, but even Diggs, that's why I said you never accept in the win what you want in the loss. It looked good when Diggs is getting all these picks, but he is a habitual line stepper. And what I mean by that is he's going to cheat on these routes. He's going to jump a lot of routes. And it looked good when you're getting picks.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost you in the long run.
Yeah.
And that's whether he's hurt or not, that's his MO. That's what he's been. So, yes, a lot of yesterday he is still hurt. But also, like, when you got to get back, he's so – because he think if I can get back.
4th and 4. He was trying to
That's what I'm saying. That's not, no, you can't.
I feel like if you got to teach Dante Fowler and Osa and Kenny Clark, if we got to teach them how to rush, that's a fucking problem, G. Like,
them are veterans. It's a way to rush as a group.
Right, but as a group, y'all are veterans. If y'all don't know how to rush, then we need to break this thing up and see what we can get for y'all boys. You know what I'm saying? Because if y'all don't know how to rush at this level, at this point in your career, if Kenny Clark don't come in like, what we doing? Nah, we need to do this. It's not there.
No,
I'm to Green Bay.
I'm with
it's
you.
It's not there.
I'm with you with they need to fix it. I'm saying, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to give Skip a little I'm trying to give a little hope here.
Yeah.
It can be elevated a little bit. You still need guys.
Sam Williams can rush the passer, and he's coming off an ACL reconstruction. So I saw little flashes from him. They're going to get better and better because they're not without talent in their pass rush, both from inside and outside. So I don't want to put you on the spot about this, but I want to go a little deeper in Trevon Diggs.
Yeah.
Okay, back in my day, they called him a cluer. I don't know if you guys ever used that word, that he just clues. He risks, he jumps routes. And he's got a lot of talent. He played receiver going to Alabama to start with, so he's got that skill set, which you had, obviously. And yet, he was so close with Micah that he was so outspoken about Micah getting traded that it came across wrong. I don't want to hear it from the locker room. It is business. It's a big business. And Micah got his money, man. He got generational money to go to Green Bay. So he's good, you know. And Trevon was so outspoken about how much they're going to miss him that if I'm in the locker room next to Trevon, I'm saying, well, maybe you should have gone with him. You know, like after a while, where it's like he lost heart for playing for the Dallas Cowboys without Micah Parsons. And I get some of it, but you got to just swallow it and go to the next game. And he didn't look like he was playing with a lot of heart. And I give you, he's coming off a really bad career-threatening injury. But he just looked lost, man. And he's not given any cushion whatsoever, and he's cluing, and he's jumping routes. And
he didn't jump no routes yesterday. Okay. He got left by the safety on cover 4.
Yeah.
Safety went to a crossing route and left him alone with
He did.
With
I know
neighbors.
which
like,
one
so,
you're talking
all right,
about.
that's not on me.
Okay,
that's
but
what
he
he's
just
thinking.
got
Like, damn,
smoked.
this neighbors, you leaving me. That's one of the bombs. And the other bomb, situational awareness, bro, you up 4 points, they need a touchdown, you got to stay deep.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's the safety over there, too. It's different ways to play cover 4. I can have the digs and stuff. You had the dig and goes when it's a single receiver. So we don't know if he was sitting on the route. We don't know whose job it was to break on this, whose job it was to be over the top, because Donovan Wilson-Ass was right there with him. Neither one of them on the top. So we can't just put that on him. That's what happens to us a lot. You know what I'm saying? Phil Simms used to do that shit to me on TV. Aqib Talib likes to jump routes. And I'm like, Phil, I didn't even have a fucking deep ball. I got the short ball. So it's easy to put that stamp on a guy, you know what I'm saying, when it's not his fault. So Who knows? If you ask me, it was the damn safety's fault. We in cover 4, you stay your ass deep. Let me break on the dig. The safeties, y'all stay deep. One was clear as day. It was the safety's fault. So,
but I think your eye test told you yesterday he had a bad game.
He had a bad game. He's still out there limping. I mean, you see him 2 weeks before the season start. You see him. He's still limping. He's not healthy. Yeah. And that's the reason I wouldn't have him as the deep part of the defense against Malik Neighbors. If we call cover 4 and you on neighbor side safety, you deep. Trayvon still gimpy a little bit. You get deep. Trayvon, you break on digs. So,
do you think he still needs to be out there though? If you have to?
Hell yeah, he need to be out there. You make $15 million a year.
Yeah.
You need to be out there. We got to play through injuries. We got to find a way. Okay. If Al was out there, the shit won't happen. Al is a great situational defensive coach. Shit like that don't happen. You know what I'm saying? It's no gray area throughout the week. Everything is black and white. Whoever out there coaching them right now, it looks like it's a little black and white. I mean, it looked like it's a little gray. The safety's breaking and he thinking he got help. It looked a little gray to me, so I won't put that all on Trayvon.
Okay, but Deron Bland played at Philadelphia, and A.J. caught 1 ball, and Devontae caught 3.
And what Diggs do?
16.
Diggs was at that. Diggs played that game too.
He didn't start, but he played some snaps. He played about half the snaps.
Yeah, he played 38 or something like that.
So is that a communication or a coach, like in the back end? Is that a communication issue between the DBs, or is that coaching? Because
right when it happened, that's a communication issue. But you only have communication issues if your coach let that shit be gray Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
You're right.
Then you go into the game, it's gray. We ain't really got no solid answer.
It's either this or it's that.
And it's black and white, bro. It got to be this or this. You got him deep, I got him short. It got to be this or this.
If we get beat and we all doing this, and
you know what?
Exactly.
Go back. That's a great point. Go back and watch that clip too on that 4th and 4 and that touchdown.
He do like this.
You can see he's doing something like this to the safety, and the safety doesn't look at him one time.
And he roasted it, and then Diggs do like this, like, bro, it's another confusion. Like, bro, what we got going?
And watch Diggs when they motion, they widen the tight end out, which puts you in a bind.
Yep.
They're going to run a wheel down the sideline. They're going to slip the seam or slip someone down the seam. That's tough. But you see Diggs look to the safety, and he's doing this almost to say, hey, I got help. Or if they go down the seam, I'm going to take this wheel route, no help. So I agree.
And then he look at him like, bro, what the hell?
Yeah,
you just left me on this side. You left me again. So, man, I used to get it. They put it on Marcus Peters. They put it on Diggs. Guys who get picks, now we get the tag as, they just like to jump routes. Nah, we just fucking got ball skills.
Okay.
We just fucking get the ball.
No, you got balls.
Yes.
Yeah, right. We got balls and ball skills. We just fucking get the ball, and we get hated on for it. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
give up
speaking of
touchdowns.
pass rush, let me hit you with this. Let's reverse it. The Giants have a hellacious pass rush because I look across this front. Abdul Carter was the 3rd overall pick. Thibodeau was the 5th overall pick. Brian Burns, who's playing at a high level, 16th overall pick, and Dexter Lawrence was the 17th overall pick. That's their front.
Yep.
I thought our line did a decent job of keeping those 4 off Dak.
They did.
And giving him enough time.
No, 3T did their thing. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yeah, that's 3T.
Well, they did.
That's 3T, baby. I'm telling you, that's 3T. No, they did really good, and that's what's gonna have to happen.
It is.
But before the season, that was my thing. When me and Aqib discussed it, he said the offense is going to be explosive. And I said, if the O-line can block. But remember, my thing with Jerry and how he's building his team, I have to protect that guy back there. So that's why I go draft all these people for days like this, where I need to protect him so he can get it to them. You 3, the other 2 is plug and play. Get these 3 in place.
Okay.
Now I protect him, and now I can get the ball to these 2. And
what did Jerry do last week? He gave the first tee his money. He gave Tyler Smith his money.
I think they're doing that, what you're saying. I think, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why he's doing it. But on the other side, we got to get this communication going.
I get it.
Yeah.
But George Pickens, I said, is going to change life for Dak Prescott, and I believe he has. Because he made some big-time plays in that game.
Yeah, you need that other guy. You definitely need that other guy.
Yeah.
He did.
And I'm glad you brought up, too, Javonte Williams. He adds a different element that they haven't had.
He's running real,
man. He's a unique runner.
He got like you could tell it's something to him how he's running, man. There was that one play where they had him corralled.
Yeah, and
he didn't stop pumping his.
He looks revived.
Yeah, like he running like.
That was supposed to be a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, it was, man.
And Miles Sanders, I know he had that fumble in week 1, but that adds another element as well. You kind of have 2 different types of backs. The biggest issue I have, though, with this defense, and kind of works perfect that you guys are here, is they're not playing complementary football. What I mean by that is if the coverage is bad on the back end, then you can't get home.
Nope.
And if I'm not getting home, then your ass is covering for 6 seconds. And it's just, it felt like too many times in that game.
That'll never work.
Never.
And they're off-season away, man.
If you get better and the pass rush looks better, then that might cover, not Aqib, but that might make the DBs look a little bit better in the secondary. Or if the secondary has some coverage sacks, then it doesn't look as bad if the pass rush can't get home. When they're both bad, you see 500 yards of offense and 450 passing.
To y'all's point, that's why those DBs in Green Bay was sitting on all them routes.
Hell yeah.
They know, like, shoot, man, that ball coming out like that.
Yeah, you know it's coming out.
Yeah, that ball is coming out now.
And that's why that Evan Williams pick. And if I'm Goff in that game,
I'm telling you, man.
Here comes one.
Okay, before we move on, I do want to ask, I have a quick little video. If an offensive lineman did this to you, Gerald, what would you do?
Oh, boy.
We got a quick little video.
Sean.
Can I give a little context? Let me preface what I'm saying. Let me preface what I'm going to say by saying I despise offensive linemen.
Okay.
Even Richie,
No matter who
even
you
Richie
are.
when he come in here, I love Richie to death, but I hate Richie at the same time.
Yep.
Let me give a little context about what's going on for everybody that thinks this is dirty. Offensive line, look at the play. If you run it back, they're running a draw. We're taught as defensive linemen to sit down when we feel that and post. The DN is trying to dip underneath as he's pass rushing. The offensive line is taught to club you pass.
Yep.
So if you look at what he's doing, he's trying to club him upfield so they can run the draw. But if I'm dipping and I'm going to club, I'm going to hit whatever's there.
Yeah.
Bomb. Now, I would get hit like, dang, bro. Like, what? But it was a draw play. So he wasn't like just being malicious, like, let me slap him inside his
Exactly.
head. It was a draw play.
Like the media made it seem.
Yeah,
like
the media makes like
That would have been in his shoulder if he didn't fall.
Usually, and we're taught, we actually drill that to where a guy, he hits us, we run upfield, he hits us in our back, and we're supposed to feel it, stop, and retreat. That's what
But
we're
he did
taught.
already have 4 penalties, right?
Yeah, so when you got 4 penalties,
I swear I was watching it yesterday, G, and I said, bro, he ain't mean to hit the dude in the
like
head.
it's a draw play.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
The
media just, they got a great way of making shit go viral, man.
It's always
you got
It does look funny. It does look funny.
They once said that I went up and poked a guy in his eye. Like, come on now. I'm Aqib Talib. I'm gonna go poke a guy in his eye.
You ripped his chain off.
No, I went and poked his head like, you know you're soft. And he said, ah! And cost me $380,000, bro. Like,
380.
Was that
Dwayne Allen, bro, I'm still looking. He owed that. He got to pay me. The tight end from the Colts, he was frictioning with Vaughn.
Oh, yeah.
And I went and poked his head like, bro, you know you
Did
soft.
you go to poke him inside the helmet or the top of the helmet?
I want to touch that forehead.
All right, man, come on, man. Anything can happen.
But I'm saying, now the media let it be known that the media, once they get to it, Aqib Talib pokes him in his eye. Like, come on, bro.
But listen.
I didn't go like,
but
yeah.
Keith, listen, wait. Let's do that. Let's add a little
I'm lead, bro. I've been in 100 fights.
You my guy.
You feel me?
And I know you really about all that. But listen, my man here had how many penalties in a row before that?
Exactly.
They going off track record.
That's it.
If anybody will poke somebody in the eye, it's the person who went off smoke. So you kind of got to, and you went in the helmet. That's a big old helmet.
Okay.
You ain't got to go inside. It's right here.
But the helmet is like right here.
Feel my finger.
But you're right here. The helmet sit like this. So you had
your eyes don't sit right here.
You had to lift and go. Hey, listen.
I could poke you right through that hat. I could poke you right here.
Yeah, we seen Ramsey. He got pushed last week. He flopped.
Okay, we gotta move on.
Hey, you meant to poke him in the forehead. I'm with you, bro.
Okay, we gotta move on. Okay, Chiefs Kingdom. We had the Super Bowl rematch, and now they are 0-2. So any team with that, they actually have 11.9% chance to make the playoffs. So last year, though, the Chiefs, we were all convinced the refs were on their side. We're making memes with them in the refs uniform, and now it was kind of a different story last night. I want to play another video because we all have this issue right now with the tush push. And on the tush push, we have a false start by the Eagles. 2 Eagles guards, false start. Nothing was called. We have this in 4K.
They're already moving. That's
Boom.
That's crazy.
And that's a touchdown right there.
Yep.
So
it's a huge play.
are the Chiefs? The refs aren't on the Chiefs side anymore, right?
No, but this right here is why it ended up getting outlawed.
Yeah.
And they're going to see this, and they're going to review it. And now, this is what happens with rules. The reason new rules come about, just like the rules of hitting the quarterback or whatever. When Tom Brady got sacked and it fell into his knee, everything really changed with it. It's like, dang, they took out Tom.
Yeah.
The whole issue with the overtime with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen not getting the opportunity, things start changing. So they start seeing this.
Good point.
Now they going to say, okay, next week, now we're going to be watching for that. But also,
they going to be
they going to be, I'm telling you why, when as soon as they line up, the refs going to be,
false
y'all
start,
seen that
bro.
Key and Peele skit where he got real low? That's going to be, I'm telling you, this is what's going to get an outlaw right
But
here.
outside of the play, do you think, Gerald, that the Chiefs dynasty is over?
So when you use the term dynasty to me means dominant.
They have been.
So from 2018, I think 2022, they're the only team in NFL history that averaged 28 plus points. That was extremely dominant. The dominant part is over. Them being contenders is not over. As long as 15 is there and Andy Reid is there, it's not over. They are still contenders. But here's the problem. They hit the scene the way they hit the scene and took over the league, it made us spoiled to where we're like, look at how they dominate offensively, they this and this. But if you look at history, all of these great offenses, eventually the league catches up. Everybody catches up at some point. The greatest show on turf, even when the Chip Kelly Eagles and all of that, you look at Tom Brady and them in 07, you're dealing with the greatest minds and athletes in the world. Eventually they're going to catch up. But also remember this, Andy Reid technically has never had a bad quarterback because he always finds a way to make the offense look really good. Then you took Patrick Mahomes, who's that talented, and put him in that offense. But look at what he got drafted to. A Hall of Fame wide receiver, a Hall of Fame tight end in his prime, to a Hall of Fame coach. They didn't even know Chris Jones was going to be what he was, but he a Hall of Famer too. This is how it started. Well, now what makes Patrick Mahomes and this group so great is they find a way. Last year, we went in so far as to say that we thought the refs was on their side. They were getting lucky. They were finding a way to edge out these games, and they went 15-2. They didn't beat Philly because the formula to beating any top quarterback, we see it with Tom Brady, we see it with Patrick Mahomes, that D-line, if they're dominating, that's how you neutralize this. Now we're looking at a sense of, man, the Chiefs lost 2 games in a row. This is not what we're used to. We've just gotten spoiled to what now we forget. Tom then won them Super Bowls, and then he done win another one for 10 years.
Yeah.
People eventually catch up. That doesn't take away from your greatness, but dynasty, that means dominant. That portion of people coming in playing the Chiefs where they like, oh, it's the Chiefs, they always gonna find a way to come back and woo, everybody's scared, and that aura that you talk about, that's over with. Everybody's seeing that the aura of the Chiefs, they're human. But also, let's take into account what they're dealing with right now. Xavier Worthy out. Rashee Rice out. They're trying to figure out how to operate this offense. Travis Kelce is not who he used to be. Is he still viable? He had that play yesterday, but that's why they say it's a game of inches. That one, if you go look at all the numbers, penalties, first downs, yards, everything was separated by that one play. They got one extra possession and lost by 3. But also, who are they facing? They face the Chargers, who's a division rival, and they face the defending champs again.
So you see them in the
Week
playoffs.
2. It's week 2. The dynasty, I believe, dynasty to me is dominance over a period of time. I feel like them dominating everybody is over. Are they still a top of the tiered team? I believe so. Yeah.
To me, that dynasty is chip appearance after chip appearance after chip appearance. And shit, they was just there last year. 3 games ago, they was in the chips. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't think the dynasty is over. They lost a game by 3 points, week 1. Good football team. They took the champs to the wire yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's over, man. They was a drop pass by Kelce away from taking the lead with 7 minutes left, a 4-point lead, 7 minutes left. They was this close. Like G said, it's a game of inches, man. So it happened. It happens before. The Patriots 2018 started 2-1, and everybody was having this same conversation. That dynasty is over with. Shit, we lost to Tom them in the chip that year. You know what I'm saying? They started off 1-2. We lost to them in the chip. So it happens. They searching for receiver. They need help at receiver. after week 6, they're going to get a healthy-ass Rashee Rice back. And I think they need to make a play and get a nice veteran downfield guy, because when they could throw the ball downfield,
you want
now
to get Tyreek.
you open up that run game. That's their real offense. Their offense is based on him being able to show that arm off and throw the ball, max protect, get the ball downfield. When they don't have no wideouts out there, you could do what the Eagles did last night. They blitz the hell out you, or don't blitz the hell out you. Play man, load the middle, and like, bro, it's play 2 man. It's too hard to play football when Mahomes can't throw the ball downfield. So
Even to your point, Aqib, did you see how physical them Phillies DBs was being with them? They're not afraid of nobody.
They're not afraid of them at all.
They're not afraid of that.
When Rashee Rice get back, that's going to slow down a little bit. If they go make a play for a Tyreek or
listen, that's what I was about to say. Hey,
then them safeties going to back their ass back up.
I'm in the DMs of Miami. I'm in the DMs of Miami.
Hey, listen,
I see y'all having issues with Reed.
You got a second round pick. Man, you get his offense what they want. You need that down the field threat.
Okay, but
in order to open up that run game.
Taekwon Thornton got deep late. That brought it back to
you need him too. He'll be part of it. Now you had Thornton over here, a vet over here, and you had Kelsey and Rashee working the middle. That'll back all that stuff up. And then Andy will be able to get back to his run game. They're just not able to run the ball right now because you can load the box. You don't even know the receivers. Like Thornton, people don't even know who that guy is. You don't fear him. So, I mean,
6 games is a long time.
They just handicapped. They just handicapped right now, you know what I'm saying? But we seen the Patriots go to the chip without dominating the first 6-7 weeks of the season.
And that's why I said dynasty to me is like dominant. Like it's where they are still competitive. Like you're not writing off the Chiefs. You're not doing that. But it's like Golden State. They was in the chip every year. Then they had that little down period. Then they won it again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it can go like that sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think the dynasty's over. And talk about dominance though. To that definition, I mean they've gone to the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
What?
7 years in a row.
Come on now.
The last 7 years they've gone to the AFC Championship. They've gone to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. They've won the AFC West 9 years in a row, and they've won 3 Super Bowls under Patrick Mahomes.
If that ain't a
that is dynasty.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
It is. Now, to say because they lose 2 games and they struggle to say it's over, absolutely not. I will say, though, I am worried about this offense, and you guys had some good points. It just felt like, to me, Patrick Mahomes looked different yesterday, and he wasn't comfortable, and he was missing wide-open guys, and his eyes started dropping to the line of scrimmage because he's worried about the pass rush.
Yep.
He's not going through progression, and he's doing these double clutches, and I know that's part of his game, and he's unorthodox, but it looked like a guy that wasn't confident to me, or that didn't have confidence yesterday. And it's not that it wasn't confidence in himself, but it was the guys around him. Like you mentioned, Rashee Rice is out until week 7. You don't have Xavier Worthy out there. Travis Kelce is not the Travis Kelce that we're used to seeing. On that play, I guarantee you they run that play 100 times, they hit all 100. That time yesterday, they missed it. And we're not used to seeing that. Now, I don't know if that was Mahomes or Kelce or who that was on, and you can say it was a low throw, but that's where you're taught to throw it. Down by the goal line, it's bang, bang. You throw it to that front hip, let him go down, protect himself. That was an issue for me. And the other thing, the run game is non-existent. Patrick Mahomes has been your leading rusher the last 2 weeks. That is not winning football. The offensive line has to be better. But what they do have, and in my opinion, what I think is going to help them stay afloat until they get these guys back is the X factor in Andy Reid. He is a phenomenal play caller.
Absolutely.
He protected Mahomes yesterday. If you notice in the second half, all right, we know that Fangio is going to light our ass up. They're bringing pressure. We're going to go quick game. Quick game. We're going to move the pocket. Roll right, roll left. Do those quick throws to Travis Kelce on a stick route. Do those quick slant routes on the outside, and then we're going to hit Thornton over the top once we lull you to sleep. That's what we're going to do. The other thing that I think is a big factor in this and that people forget is that Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. No matter what he looks like, they are the team to beat in the AFC.
As long as he's there.
And I made a rankings last week with Kinsey about who's the top player or top quarterback in the NFL. Mahomes is still 1. Until you beat him, and I know Allen looks great and Jackson looks great, but he is still 1. And until another team can come in there and at least not allow them to go to the AFC Championship, that dynasty is still on. I think they're going to figure it out. We see this every year where they have a couple weeks where they struggle.
So you're still picking them to win the AFC?
I still think they go to the AFC Championship and they lose to the Buffalo Bills. I would do. I still believe that. Until you show me otherwise, not a team that has injuries and struggled again. And they almost won both these games, by the way. It's not like they got blown out. They almost won these games. They had a chance to win. And the defense looked a lot better this game. They were a lot more comfortable with Spags' play calling. They got after Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. But no, until someone beats them, they are still the team to beat.
To your point, Jalen threw for 101 yards and they won the game.
Yeah.
They had 216 total offensive yards and they won the game at Kansas City against what you saw in training camp was a highly motivated team to get revenge over being down 40-6 with 3 minutes left in the Super Bowl. It was 40-6. That's motivation. You in your house at Arrowhead, you got to say no. So, to me, it's a one-play. Well, let me do your first question. I do think the dynasty is done. I don't think they're going to get back to the championship game or the Super Bowl. Now, maybe in 2 years or 3 years, I'm not saying they'll never get back because they'll have Mahomes for a long time. But his numbers have fallen over the last 2 years, and his numbers have fallen over these first two games because my eyes are telling me he's at least as dangerous with his legs now as he is with his arm because he ran 7 times for 66 yards, and their best play now is him pump faking and deking and juking and running. And he doesn't look very fast, but at 240, he can motor. I mean, once he gets unleashed a little bit, he can go.
He's running everybody over.
Yeah. All right. So it's
Running everybody.
Right on the sideline, too.
So it's a one-play game.
Yep.
And they have gone 74 yards in 14 plays, which is hard to do against Philly's defense to go 14 plays because you're going to make one little mistake and they're going to get you.
Agreed.
Because they're that good.
Yep.
So you get it 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line, and you throw it to 87, who's not just your Robin, he's been your Batman. You've been Batman and he's been Batman, but he ain't the same. And you throw it as you should down here, and Patrick took the blame after that. He said I threw it a tad early, and maybe because it looked like Kelsey was a little shocked by it, but what it's just a little quick turn in where you're only 6 yards to the goal line, and it hits you right there. Well, obviously, you have to catch that, especially if you're Travis Kelce.
You have to.
And you've been talking, I said this the other day on the show, you've been talking a better game than you're playing because you keep saying, I'm the leader, I've got to show you, I'm going to lead on the football field. Well, again, Philly goes 2 for 2 in the red zone. You go 1 for 2 in the red zone because 87 dropped it at the goal line. And if it hits you in the hands, it's a drop. I don't care what you say. And then this is lame. This is cheap. This is low rent to me. Travis Kelce ducked the media after the game. And I know you're talking, Aqib, about the media, but for the sake of your teammates in that locker room, if you drop the ball that changed the game, they went from, they had a 53% chance of winning the game as the ball hit his hands, and it dropped to 24% because he got a bad break because it ricochets right to Andrew McCoy, who's another Howie Roseman steal in the second round out of Texas, and he's a ball. He plays safety, but he's a ball hawk. He's got that. He's always in the right place at the wrong time. And so he snatches out of the air, and then he returns at 41 yards, and all of a sudden it's about to be 17-13 Kansas City. And it's 20-10 Philadelphia, and the game is effectively over at that point, right? Okay, so afterward, Travis Kelce has to stand in his locker or sit in his locker, whatever he chooses to do, and he has to take it. And he has to take it so that they don't come to you and ask you about, well, what about the drop? And they don't come to you and ask you, what about the drop? And you have to try to cover for him. It's weak.
So you think Travis Kelce is the problem?
Come on, man.
They're going to come ask G about the drop and me about the drop.
Anyway.
Questions anyway.
Okay, but not so much if he just completely takes the blame. And Patrick took it for him. I was a tad early. Do you think it's maybe a tad early? But
no. So on that play right there, that's a good point. So what you're taught, and we go back and watch the tape. They've done it a million times before. You have a full clear out, right? You clear out two guys. You have Travis Kelce is going to push outside, sell it like he's going to the flat, turn inside. You know that you have to have a sense of urgency to get your head around. I don't think it was necessarily the drop. I think it was the fact that, I don't want to say lazy, but he didn't have that sense of urgency to get his head around. Patrick Mahomes threw it exactly where he needed to. If that's more in front or it's higher, then that inside backer is going to get in front of it anyways, or he's going to hit you in the chest. You have to throw that right when they turn on the front hip so he can fall down, catch it, and protect himself. It was a perfect rep. I think, to your point, I think it was Travis Kelce's fault. Now, Mahomes is going to take the blame as he should as the quarterback, but he's got to get his head around quicker. You practice that all week. Down on the goal line, everything happens so much quicker.
It was a little bit slower all week. In this type of game, It was just that's what Eagles line do to you. They speed you up that 0.2 seconds, and it was just a 0.2 seconds, bro. It wasn't nobody's fault. It was just unfortunate. He threw it a little early. He could have got his head around faster. And that shit happened. I bet you Kelsey went straight to Mahomes and said, bro, I got to catch that. And Mahomes said, nah, bro, that's on me. I got to throw that a little bit later.
Agreed.
So it's both of them going to take the blame for it. Whoever takes the blame as far as the media, who gives a fuck, Skip? They don't give a, they are a dynasty. They don't give a fuck what the media think. They going to get that shit fixed internally. Who gives a fuck what the media say?
And the media's going to hate on the Chiefs regardless.
We keep talking about the offense. Let's not take credit away from the defense.
Yeah.
If you look at how physical these DBs, and that's why I'm saying the aura, figuring it out, people understood that Tom was going to figure it out at some point. We just got to give it our best shot and see what happens. They understand that about the Chiefs.
And they did.
But the thing about them is that where it's like, okay, I can't only play Kels a certain way. The way he was getting pressed. If you have your Travis Kelce, I think that DB played it completely different. He was on Kels. He was on. So when you saying he got to get around faster, I think because like you said, you sell outside or whatever. Old Kels, he can do it how he did it. He don't have that twitch and everything like he used to be.
But
so these DBs is on
No,
it.
he won that route.
He fucking left.
But he was right on him.
No,
He left him. He stemmed out and left that boy 2 yards away from him.
He was right on him.
No, he won. I mean,
Man,
He was
hey,
on
hey,
him.
I- to
That's
me,
open.
I played
That is
DB.
open
That's
red
not
zone.
on him.
No.
This is the
I'm
red
saying-
zone, bro. You are a two-step. You have no chance to make a play
to get
on the ball.
But I think
what
he
I'm
was-
saying, you
go
saying
ahead.
getting your head around.
Yeah.
I think he slowed up his operation.
But exactly, that's what I think it came down to. He ran a great route, he just didn't finish the route. You went off the line, you sell outside, we have a perfect play call on for man-to-man. We know there's a whole defender inside. Get your head around that ball's on the front hip. I promise you, whether it was the pass rush, whatever it may be, you work on that every single week in the red zone. Out in the field, it's bang, bang. Down in the red zone, it's bang, bang, bang. I mean, it is that much quicker, and you have to have that sense of urgency. So again, could Mahomes have thrown a little bit of a better ball? It's tough for me to say yes because you're taught low and away. Put it on that front hip so he can protect himself. If you throw it high down the red zone, tips and overthrows, and that's bad things happen. But to that point, I still say I don't want to put it fully on Kelsey.
Say Kelsey didn't have it, bro. He fucking left Cooper DeJean as 2 yards away from him.
He did.
He did win. He won. Yeah.
Left him 2 yards away from him and just barely got his head back. Oh shit, you threw it. The D-line's gonna speed up Patrick. That's why Patrick told you, bro. It's on me. I threw it a fucking half a tick early because I was
I thought
fed
it was
up.
a little early. I thought
He
it was
just
a
threw it a little
I
bit
don't
early
think
because
he
he
was
was fed
fed
up.
up.
But if
That's
he throws
it.
it any later,
The whole that's what I'm
He
saying.
gonna get his ass hit,
But that's
but
what-
he still
No.
got a half a second to
Or
get
that
the-
inside defender jump stat. And you guys know, I mean, it's
You-
reaction.
You
that
can't
inside
jump it
defender-
that far, bro. The ball got tipped. He took 2 more steps and then picked it. A half a second, bro. That ball is traveling like this. He could wait a 0.3 seconds and throw that ball in there. Kelsey gonna get it, take that little hit, and get up and celebrate.
But to
bro.
my point,
he threw it
for
early.
two guys that have done it together for so long, I mean, I'm telling you, you give them that play 100 times, that's a touchdown.
Exactly.
100 times. Why does that happen now?
Because
That's what I'm saying.
Jalen Carter and them is coming. That's why
know, man.
he was
I
sped
just-
up a little bit all game. That's why. That's the only
they
reason
did.
it
It was
happened.
a quick
game, I
That's the
agree, but-
Eagles D-line won that game because they made him speed that shit up 0.3 seconds faster than he wanted to throw it. And hey, that was the results of it.
If you watch the play again too, like you're right. He gives him a great route, beats him outside. It just looks like
He murdered him.
He's slow when he turns inside, and Mahomes is expecting him to be there. I mean,
Well-
either way, we can nitpick. I don't want to take away from
Yeah.
you. That
Hindsight
defense
is
last week.
2020.
point
Yep.
to you. I'm going to speak as a media member to you, and you can say F you to me if you want. But
Probably will.
Travis Kelce,
You'd love to.
Travis Kelce has way too much going on off the field, starting with her, but he's become a celebrity. He's become an actor. He's become a celebrity podcaster. And I know your game that you guys played. It requires extreme focus.
I mean, you were saying that
Just-
about Micah. He has
yeah,
nothing to do
like-
now but watch
okay.
film.
But see, Micah don't. I mean, Travis don't bash his teammates on his show.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So
No.
But
if you,
it's a lack of focus, he's saying.
I mean, once
Less
you
about
get to
bashing your
a
teammates.
Kelsey type level, as long as my body in shape, I've been running the same offense for years.
Yeah.
Long as I'm ready to go, I'm hydrated, I'm healthy. Bro, I got time to do an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But
podcast.
you haven't been playing at that Travis
But he
Kelce.
had,
So
though.
I would be
And
taking
it was
a step back.
Third down, where Mahomes go? Work the shit out of him.
Oh, no, we're not going to act like Kelsey wasn't cooking yet.
What?
He
No,
was still cooking, bro. He's still cooking.
He was cooking, bro.
Yeah.
Cooper
Yeah.
DeJean, game on the line. Where I'm going, Kelsey, work the shit out of Cooper DeJean. Lead
Okay,
him.
he got
on that
4
touchdown.
balls.
crossing route.
Exactly,
just
bro.
to
Like, bro,
defend-
he
Yeah.
still was fucking cooking.
No, he was.
Just to defend the player versus the media, I understand how you may feel like it's weak that happened, but you got to understand this. You know our game, but when we finish a game and something like that happens, especially, you got to think what Kelsey's thinking. That's the same team just blew us out of the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Then they came in our crib and beat us again.
They did.
And a big part of that will be on me and the play I made. We don't know, just because he is in the celebrity eye, he has so much more responsibility to operate and say certain things. But also remember this. Yes, we talk after the game, but we also have in-week interviews. So he probably like, I ain't there right now. Let me get up out of here. I'll talk to you. Because they going to ask him again.
Okay,
Let me
but
cool
Skip,
off.
you got to have the guts.
Skip, he
you
can't-
got to have
But
the
he,
guts.
but he probably know, like, listen, I know how I am. I'm probably triggered right now. I'm probably going to say some BS. Let me get up out of
He
here.
probably saved himself 40
But you got to think, if he say,
he probably
if he
saved
say some
money.
BS, that fault now, his wife going to have to answer the question, well, your husband said that. He went from being Travis Kelce to married to Taylor Swift. Everything changes when your celebrity
Yeah,
changes.
everything you say, you can't react
So he
out of
knows
anger.
if I say some BS, now she got to
Skip.
deal with it.
Hey,
and
you
I-
know what he's doing? He's waiting to do it on the podcast.
That's
That
what I'm
comment's
saying.
gonna-
Yeah, I'm gonna get him paid.
Saying, bro,
for the
like,
podcast.
Celebrity and all this. Kid, Skip, he can't help it. He pulled Taylor Swift.
yeah.
That's his aura. Skip.
It's fine. I
Can't
got
help
you.
that.
But that's
just
the-
because he's a damn good football player, that don't mean he can't
Okay,
have a
but
damn
his
good
life
life.
has changed.
Agreed.
It's completely
100%.
changed.
It is.
I think-
But he said he
his,
cooked up.
his play on that field, everybody gets older and slow down a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's what I think
But
it's
he's
more
still
that.
fucking
Man,
cooking.
he still was
Okay.
cooking
No,
he
yesterday.
was. He was. But
His love
That's
life
not
has
cooking.
anything to
That's
do.
not cooking.
But the problem is,
It's the NFL.
to
Mistakes are
Skip's
made.
point, though, we've got accustomed to seeing him make that play. And then they had an out route during the game to
Yep.
Kelsey, and he just misses him a little wide.
He
Like,
pissed
him off.
they make
Yeah.
those in their sleep, and they're starting to miss him
Yep.
because he's so damn good for his whole career. Now you start
That's
thinking,
true.
well, then what's the issue? Why is he dropping off
It's
a little
because he
bit?
damn 36.
No, I know.
He missed it in week 2.
I know.
We had these same issues last year,
Yes.
and they got in the playoffs.
they don't
He
What was
missed
doing?
it.
though.
He's just a little older now, man. I don't think
Yeah.
it got
Hey, that's
anything to
all
do with
right,
your
man.
celebrity
One thing
or
I
your
had-
podcast or you get a little
I don't-
older, bro. You get one step slower, bro.
Yeah.
It's what
I don't think it's a podcast. The one thing, though, I will say that concerns me, I don't think the dynasty's over, and I might be alone on this, but I felt like yesterday watching the end of the game was the first time I was watching the Chiefs offense, and I didn't think they were going to do it. I
Right.
felt like the game was over.
I agree.
Normally when
But you know
Patrick
why you
Mahomes
felt
has
like
the
that?
ball,
Because
what?
you knew none of the receivers out here.
I
bro.
agree.
He's out here handicapped.
But he's
Even
done it.
so, bro,
Hand
even
behind
so,
his
though,
back.
bro, they
He
still had
loses.
time. If Pat hit him on that first one,
Yes.
they got tons of time.
Yes, but he didn't.
He
and
didn't.
and it could be because
Right.
of who's out there. I get those
Exactly.
and I get there's
That's
other
his first
guys.
time. See, bro probably ran that shit super fast in practice. And then we got in the game. He a little bit tired. He been playing this game. They like, damn.
Maybe.
But
I've been throwing it like
they
this
had
all
time,
week.
bro.
Goddamn.
I'll say this.
Saquon rushed about 9 yards on the first down.
Yeah, no,
I
I agree.
understand the defense did what they did.
Yeah.
But I've talked to people. You played there. I talked to Kyle Van Noy. Their philosophy in New England, just give 12 another shot. Just give him one more. Just give him one more chance. I understand we've been doing this all game. Give 12 one more shot. I know I was sitting watching that game. If this defense get a stop and 15 get that ball, they got a chance.
I didn't feel that. That was
That's
one of
how I
the-
felt.
I
That was
felt
one
that
of
with
it.
Thornton out there
Yeah.
and Juju out there and Kill. I
Bro,
felt that
Andy just find a way to draw it at 15 operating it. I'm telling you, bro.
that was the first time I've ever watched and didn't feel that. I normally feel that every time. Yesterday I didn't. I didn't.
Let's move
they
on. I
playing
really
the
want to
best team
get.
in the NFL.
I know we all want to get to this point because we talked about it a little bit before, so I want to get to this point. But 55% of the chat says the Chiefs dynasty is over. But this next point, I mean, I'm absolutely devastated. I know
Yep.
Aqib and Skip,
am.
you both had the Bengals in the Super Bowl.
We did.
So we got two things that just hit the news while we've been on the show. So one is Zach Taylor confirmed surgery before it was sources. So
Yeah.
surgery is happening for sure. And then the second thing is JJ McCarthy has a high ankle sprain, is going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. So the Bengals are playing the Vikings this weekend. So gives Browning a little bit of a shot here
Yeah.
because who's he playing? He's playing Carson Wentz. So the Bengals started 2-0 for the first time since 2018. I'm floored for them. I'm so excited. I think it's this year. And then, of course, he's going to be out for at least 3 months. So, Aqib, are the Bengals done? Is this year not happening?
I want to say no, but the firm believer in me.
I know. I want to say no, too.
It hurts, though. It just hurts.
Look,
it hurts.
Jake Browning came in, played. He threw 3
He's
picks,
seasoned.
but
He's
he played
seasoned,
a damn good game.
And he's seasoned. He's a seasoned
He came in 2023.
He's played.
He went 500. He went like 4-3, right?
4-3, yeah, he did.
He went 4-3.
It's
So
not
look
any
at it
backup.
like this, Kinsey. This my reasoning. If he can just go 500, 6-6,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Boom.
exactly what I said.
The first 2 wins was huge because Burrow come back, they
Set 'em up.
8-6, right? Last 3 games of the season. Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns. You could come out 11-6, and if you get in the tournament, it's gonna be a fucking problem with Burrow.
But this,
you know
they
how you
said
come back.
at least 3 months. This is you saying that
Yeah,
everything goes perfect and Burrow comes back for those 3 games.
Man, I did stem cell on my toes before.
That at least is like.
Bro, I had stem cell on my toes before, bro.
I mean,
they gonna stem cell them toes after the surgery, bro. That 12 weeks is gonna turn into.
What was wrong with your toe?
Shit, I did a lot of planning driving, Skip. A lot of planning driving.
Everything.
So I couldn't even do a lunge. I couldn't even lunge back on my toe. My big toe bending like this was a problem.
Okay, so you had turf toe.
Basically,
Yeah.
On both toes.
But
And
he
I
has
went and
his
got
turf toe
stem cell.
and
I ain't
ligament.
felt my toes since, Skip.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's stuff out there now. This is a new day and age. There's stuff out there that can speed up that healing process. Brownie, go 6-6. Be 8-6. If he's 8-6 when he returned against the Dolphins, Cardinals, and the Browns,
I like that.
hey, man, they still got a shot.
It's just.
I worry.
Joe Burrow overcomes so
know.
much.
He
If
does.
you look at what him and Chase did last year, freaking incredible seasons, and they couldn't beat these teams. He masked so much. I don't know if he masked it because we all can see it, but he overcomes so much with his play and what he's able to do. As much as Jake Browning, he's viable. He can win you some games. It's just the league we're in right now. You talk about the views. The reason the views are like that is because the skill level and the level of football we're watching is so high.
It is.
You need Joe Burrow to win to actually have a shot to beat these teams they're going to be facing because week after week, like think about it. They were losing yesterday with Trevor Lawrence still there. I know we don't believe that Trevor Lawrence is the guy, but they should have won that game, and Jake Browning still was able to win. That should let you know, like, the margin is like this close.
Yeah.
So when you start playing these top teams, you're going to need Joe Burrow because it's bigger than just go out there, I can read the defense, I can make this. What makes Joe is his ability to overcome whatever it is. He's standing there and he is like Joe, I understand he dealt with a lot of injuries, but Joe is a dog. Like he man, when you watch him play, it's just something about it. Like he took them hits from Myles Garrett. He did an interview, was like, I mean, it's Myles. Yeah, he hit me, but I'm good. Whatever. Like, and we seen how like it's more to Joe Burrow than just the delivering the ball. It's more to him. And that's why I say I'm a little nervous because.
And who are the Bengals without Joe Burrow? Looking at the rest of the team, it's tough.
Like Jamar Chase is incredible. He gonna get his, but that's not gonna be enough to like. It's just not because at some point they're gonna be like, okay, shift the coverage to him, make T beat us, and then now it's like, okay, now the defense is it's a lot, man. Like when you get in them shootout games, that's where Joe Burrow's gonna come into play.
100%.
Somebody all right, listen. We can score, go blow for blow with them. We just need to edge them out. And that's where it's like, man.
But Browning got him 6-6 in 2023. So if he could do that.
Hey, just be a 500 quarterback, Brownie.
If he
do
can
what
do
you
that,
do, baby. That's
get
what we pay
Burrow
you
back
for.
in, maybe. So
And
you're
then they
saying
got
Bengals
games
are
they
done
can
now.
win.
Bengals are done?
Yeah, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Cody?
I do. I think they're done, unfortunately. I hate this one. This one hurt yesterday. And to Aqib's point, though, I mean, in 2020, he tore his ACL in week 11, I think it was. He was back for 2021. I mean, he's going to take his rehab seriously. I believe he can get back. But with Joe Burrow, since he's been drafted, they're 40-30-1. And he took over a bad roster, so that's impressive.
Yeah.
Without him, they're 6-8. And Browning was 4-3 that year in 2023. So I believe he can keep them right around 500. I think he can keep them afloat. The AFC North is gone. The Ravens are now going to win that. They have no chance there, but he can keep them in contention maybe for a wild card spot. for 11 games. Now, if you bring Burrow back, this is where I get concerned, is that he is coming back fresh. And I don't mean in a good way. I mean that he is coming back like it's week 1 all over again on December 14th or December 21st, whatever game he plays in.
Yeah.
And this is without fall camp and preseason. He's going to be starting fresh to where he's been out of football for 3 months. And at that point in time, you guys know in late December, these teams are hitting their stride. This is where the great teams are taking over, and they're about to go on a playoff run.
Yep.
If you're starting fresh as Joe Burrow and you don't have that rhythm that you've been in all season, I think it's going to be tough for him to overcome, even if Browning puts him in a good spot throughout the year. So I hate to say it, man, this one sucks. I want Joe Burrow to be successful so bad. He's a great player. He's a great leader. Unfortunately, I do think they're done this year.
And I am not giving up on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Woo!
Jake Browning,
Let's go, Skip.
undrafted out of Washington.
Yep.
I loved how he played yesterday. He went 92 yards in 15 plays against a pretty good defense, featuring Travis Hunter finally playing lots of snaps on defense, more on defense than offense. And he had to convert a 4th and 3 at his 15-yard line, which he did to his little running back, who's not very good. But Chase Brown's okay, he tries hard. That's all I can say. And he hit him with a little pop pass that he broke for 15 yards. And then there was a 4th and 5 play that Travis Hunter got flagged for pass interference. I don't know if you saw the play. It was iffy. I would have thrown the flag because I thought he got there a little early. But whatever. They got some breaks, but they cashed. And they're 2-0, and that's a big deal because he knows how to play.
Yeah.
He's not Joe Burrow, but they trust him because Jamar caught 14 balls yesterday for 165 yards. That'll work, man. And he'll catch them from Jake almost the way he catch them from Joe Burrow. So this surgery is very rare because what you didn't do, Aqib, with your toes, you didn't tear ligaments in your big toes.
Right.
He tore the ligament where you have no choice. You got to get it cut on.
Repair.
They can go in. They're going to have to reattach the ligament. But it's so rare that nobody knows really how long. They're just throwing out some number, 3 months. Maybe he could come back in a month and a half.
Right.
To your point, you better hit the ground running
Yeah, you have to.
because everybody else is going to be at full speed at that point. But knowing Burrow, he does seem like a quick healer. He also seems like he's a little fragile because now he tore up his knee and he tore up his wrist, and this is his 3rd surgery in 6 years. That's not a good sign. Where some guys just stay healthy. I don't know how they do it. God is good, but God hasn't been good to Joe this way because this was a freakish sort of injury, and he suffered it, and it tore the ligament completely running up through his toe. But I think he'll come back sooner than later, and I think Jake Browning will go win this game against Carson Wentz at Minnesota, and then it gets really rough because they go at Denver, Detroit, and at Green Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they'll lose those, though.
they're probably going to lose those games. I don't.
Yeah, I
Keep
don't
going,
know
though,
about
Skip.
that Minnesota one is like Carson ain't, but that defense is still.
They is.
I mean, they.
Like listen,
Brian
that
Flores.
Minnesota, Brian Flores gonna
He's
light
him.
him up.
He is him. And
he,
but the thing
going up
is,
against a backup, Flores
that ain't
is
like
sitting there like
we
this.
going in there just to.
but how Flo play, when you do all that lighting up, bro, you got to play man against these guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like a matchup problem. You want to play Flo
play
defense.
man,
You got to play man against. I could be the quarterback and give me Hig and him.
Yeah.
Come on, Flo, bring that shit. I'm and let that bitch ride, and I'm gonna let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Just like Bronny did in the game. That's the same. Bronny ain't do much. He threw that shit to Higgins. He threw that shit to Jamar, bro. They gonna be open. They gonna make plays, especially against man coverage.
I don't think they play a lot of man, though. I think we see fire zone to where they're blitzing, dropping that
Fire
backside.
zone is man.
But
Man,
it is to underneath, but that still makes you process a little bit more as a quarterback. When it's man to man, I almost want that because I go, all right, cool. I'm going to change the mic call here. I know pressure's coming this way. I can close my eyes and throw a go. I can close my eyes.
You can
make
do
sure
that.
the whole
You can do
defender's
that
not there.
against fire zones, though.
Who is he throwing to?
You can do that against
But if I had
fire
Jamar
zone.
Chase and T. Higgins, I'm throwing to those guys. Like
So
that's,
when they start playing man in Green Bay, who is he throwing to?
I'm still throwing to Jamar.
No, I said Green Bay.
Oh, you're saying when they play man
Who
in
is the
Green Bay
guy
on
to
offense?
go to in Green Bay? Yes, I brought
I'm
this all the
taking
way
Dubs
back.
and Wicks over the top, bro. I'm throwing to Tucker Kraft. Tucker
come
Kraft is
on,
a mismatch.
man. All
on
right,
the
go
inside.
back
Let's
to-
get
go
Josh
back to
Jacobs
this.
out of the backfield.
I'm just saying, you need a guy.
No, I mean,
that's why
I
you
agree.
feel that way because he got Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Look, it's 5 winnable games on this schedule.
All right.
Vikings with no JJ. Y'all can split with the Steelers. I think they can split with the Steelers. They can get one. They can get one versus
If that's
Pittsburgh.
They play like
They
this.
play the Jets.
This way this defense
They play the Bears.
Yeah.
They play the Patriots at home.
Okay.
5 winnable games right there.
Absolutely.
Come on, man.
Yep.
He can win them 5. You win them 5, let Joe come
Now
back.
you flipped around. Now you're
But you
bullish,
think
right?
Joe's gonna come back and go, just
Well,
right
look,
into
I
it.
had a high ankle sprain one time. I played for the Rams.
Yeah.
Whoop. Dude rolling to my ankle, high ankle sprain, right? Shit, I missed 11 games, and I hit the ground, like whoop, just like you're saying.
Yeah,
That's just what us all pros do, Cody.
That's two different positions, though. But listen,
we hit the fucking ground and we go.
Hey,
You know
listen,
what I'm
I
saying?
get that, but we got to go with the history of why Joe and them played in the preseason. They've had historically bad starts.
Yeah.
They have.
Yeah, this ain't the
Because
start.
they needed the He going to be starting all the way
His
over.
team won't be starting.
Man,
This
you
is Joe.
Aqib, you rehab. You know rehab is not preparation. That is rehab. That
This
is
is
not
Joe
getting in
Burrow
shape.
we
That
talking
ain't-
about, though.
Joe is a dog, but
Yeah, this is Joe Burrow.
there's some merit to what he's saying because he's going to come back with teams that's hitting their stride and he's going to have to.
His team gonna be hitting their stride as well. It's not like when they start the season slow, it's like, Joe's starting slow. It's the O-line, it's everybody. The defense is everybody. His team will be hitting their stride. You put in the fresh Joe gonna be fucking Joe.
Man,
Hey,
they was
I hope you're right.
They was lighting people up last year. Joe and Jamar, and they wasn't winning, man.
They was losing them games. They was
That's
losing
what
the
I'm
games.
saying. But
even
this year,
they
was
winning
still
them games.
overcoming.
These 2 games last year, they would have lost. They won them 2.
Yep.
Hey, they got something on their side this year. They
First
winning them
time
games they
since
would have lost last year.
2018 that they've won 2 games starting.
Hey, they're not the best
It's
team in the
week,
league.
it's week 2. It's week 2. Okay, before we wrap up, I do want to get into, obviously, we have 2 games tonight on Monday night. How fun. We have got the Texans, and they will be hosting. Yeah, we already know you. Bucks. You also love Baker Mayfield, but I just want quick
Yes, he's
predictions,
top 10,
okay?
by the way. Keep
First,
going.
let's go. We got Texans. They will be hosting the Bucks, and then we've got the Chargers at a nightcap in Vegas. So, go. Who do we got?
Bucks, Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah, I love what
Whoa.
Pete Carroll is doing. He's got a formula. I was under John Spytek in Tampa. He was the assistant GM. I know how he builds teams.
Okay.
They have a formula which is really similar to how the Chargers play. They're going to run the ball, play great defense. You don't sign a 73-year-old coach to be in, like, future. They want to win right now.
Yep.
And I believe, like, with them winning, with the energy that Pete Carroll brings to teams, you know, you heard the story. He kicked a hole in their whiteboard and it energized the team. They're at home. This is the first time Pete Carroll will be coaching in this stadium in a home game. And Pete Carroll, who was the guy who had USC when they was like, he can handle this. And I just believe that they get it done tonight. They at home. And I think the confidence they have, even though the way the Chargers just played,
Herbert looks good.
he looked really good, but I like the confidence the Raiders
And what
are
if Brock
playing with.
Bowers isn't playing tonight? It's uncertain right now.
That changes everything.
Yeah. Because
Wait a minute.
Hey, listen, because you gotta, like I said, you need that guy.
You need
And
that
you
guy.
know when he down there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's who Brock Bowers is.
exactly.
You know, and when he not in the lineup, Ashton Genty won't be as effective because that guy is over there. So we got to work. Ashton Genty, as good as I believe he can be, that guy, we know what he is. So when you take him off the field now, it's like, okay, all the focus is on him. Let's
they
see what
say
they
it's
can
looking good, but it's uncertain. So we don't
He
know.
playing.
That changes.
Yeah.
I go Houston at home, 24-17.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, they stole a game. The Bucks stole a game last week on the road. So, you know.
Well, they won it.
They stole it, though.
I mean, Baker,
What
you
did
God
Houston
missed a
do?
field goal.
What we see
Houston
do?
lost a game, but they played against a
good Rams.
hot team.
Rams.
Yeah,
in
they did
NFC.
play good Rams.
They played some damn good defense, though. I feel like they pretty much stopped the run. They stopped
What
that.
about
They
their
stopped that
offense?
offense.
What about C.J. Stroud in that offense?
Yeah, they'll be at home. It'll be you play better at home. You know what I'm saying? Your
Yeah,
player will
we
play better
own
at
that.
home.
We own that.
Nico will have he'll come
You
to
know
life
they
tonight.
starting center is out, right? Who
Nico will
blocking
come to
Vita?
life.
Nico needs to do something.
Nico will come to life. You know what I'm
Who's
saying?
blocking Vita Vea when your start center is out? Vita been
Man, it's
like
the
this
NFL,
all
man.
week.
Next man up.
Hey,
Man,
this is NFL.
please, no way.
CJ look better at home.
All right.
Okay. And
I like it 24-17
We own that.
Houston.
Okay.
We're going to light him up.
And then I like the Chargers. They still riding high off they Chiefs win.
Yep.
The Raiders, man, I never was a Raiders fan, you know, so I'm probably gonna pick against the Raiders a lot.
You wasn't a Raiders fan?
Look,
No,
the Chargers, the Chargers look very good.
Yeah, they
week one,
did.
You know what I'm saying?
They
So
did.
Going against a lesser opponent, I'm riding with the Chargers, 31-21. I think they light up that scoreboard
I know
again.
you've been riding with Justin Herbert too now.
I still am. But first game, I am worried about this Texans offense. I am worried about C.J. Stroud a little bit. I feel like he regressed some last year.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it yet this year. I know they played a good Rams team. I'm riding with Baker on this one. I got the Bucs winning 27-21. And then the second game, I'm all in on Justin Herbert. I think, and it hurts me because I'm a former Trojan. I love Pete Carroll. Got recruited by him, but then he left because we won't go into that. But he left early, so I didn't get to play for him. But yeah, I'm going 28-17. The Chargers get the win tonight.
I got Baker and Jim Harbaugh. I got Baker in a low-scoring 20-17 game at Houston. And I'm not a big Justin Herbert guy, but I'll go with Jim Harbaugh just because I don't think Brock Bowers is going to play. To your point, it sounds iffy at best. And
3 hours ago, though, said it looked positive.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was watching him.
Will he be 100% though, too?
Yeah, I just don't know. He might try, but it didn't look good. And
but he's a game
sound
changer
good.
for sure.
Yeah.
He is a game changer. I thought Ashton Genty would be a game changer, and he went 19 times for 38 yards in their opener, and he hasn't gotten on track even in the preseason yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I got to go. The Chargers are just better right now than the Raiders. Maybe not with Spytek going forward, but tonight they'll be better.
Yeah,
I think C.J. Stroud regressed.
Yes.
From what he's deep in the playoffs?
No, I'm not saying what they did as a team last year from what we saw.
That's a team thing.
Yeah.
But
He is the
from
team.
his rookie year to
How is
second
the
year.
quarterback-driven league?
Man, that
He's 2 rounds deep in the
defense is
playoffs.
I'm not saying he was bad. I'm just saying he wasn't as good as he was
on that
first year.
defense? That defense is elite, man. Listen.
And Baker about to see about that elite defense, too.
28-17 Bucks
Okay.
tonight, and I got the Raiders winning a close one. 24-21.
All right.
All right, yeah, we kind of got a mixed bag going on, so we're gonna find out tonight. We will see you guys back here tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. PST, and we cannot wait. Thank you so much for watching The Arena Gridiron presented by Underdog. Woo woo!